Hey, Crag, you should PM Dova with some information about Crag.
Okay.
Just so I know where to bring you in best.
Yeah. Like who he is and whatnot.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads. Our illustrious champion returns. Welcome home.
Hey Dova.
Yeah?
One day I want to try the living armor from Eberron.
You wanna go for that?
Yeah.
My
Hell
hammer is
yeah.
getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
Living armor? Question mark?
There's living
Hold
armor.
on, hold on. What about the giant lobster?
So living armor is like a insectoid carapace. Or it's basically made out of chitin. And it when you wear it, it digs itself into you. Effectively, it gives you resistance to things like poison, necrotic, and psychic damage, and +1 AC to the armor of your basically the armor that it's made out of. It'll function like that armor with an AC of +1. However, you can't remove it while you're attuned to it.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you finish a long rest, you must sacrifice half of your remaining hit die to it as you're feeding it blood.
Just a little bit.
Just the tip.
And do you
That
get it back
is-
after? Do you get those hit dice back after a long rest?
Hey, what's up, Ray?
Effectively, what you do is you're just sacrificing half your hit die to it each long rest. So your hit die would return to normal, and then you just sack them again, or you take 1 point of exhaustion.
Symbiotic nature. That is awesome.
Yep. It's right under the cask of slime, the cobalt.
Which is very similar, but inside instead of outside.
And then there's also a pair of symbiotic gloves.
What's the gloves called? Symbiotic gloves.
Living gloves.
I don't think we have the official part for it for Fantasy Grounds. It's from the PDF.
Mm-hmm.
Or from the book.
Yeah, I've got the entirety of the Wars of Eberron.
Rising from the Last War.
Yeah.
Let's see. While tuning these gloves, you gain one of the following proficiencies: sleight of hand, thieves' tools, artisan tools, or magical tools. Oh, you get expertise in that.
Yeah, you're effectively giving up an attunement slot to get expertise in something.
Yeah, it's cool.
Eberron crafting complications. A D6 out of 6. Your item becomes sentient.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's like the Venom suit.
Hey, Yark, when are you gonna have the sentient flan?
You guys are cutting out real bad.
Whenever Dova lets. Unfortunately, though, we don't seem to be rolling on the complications table whenever I make a magic item.
I'm gonna restart my Discord real quick.
No, Dova, it's happening for me too. It's something on their end. Unless I'm cutting off for you too.
I'm hearing everybody fine.
Yeah, honestly, Zim was doing fine.
I'm hearing Cobalt and Safinara cutting out randomly.
Hi, I'm back.
Everybody else
Hello.
is coming through just fine.
Hi, back. I'm Saf.
Alright, that's it. That's it. That's all I've got to say. You pranked, idiot.
There's an armor called Mind Carapace armor.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's see. It grants advantage to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws, and makes the wearer immune to frightened.
Anything out of this?
Yeah. What's up, bud?
Hey, Zim, the music's a little loud.
Hi, Baldric.
If anyone ever wanted a map of Eberron's plains, there they are.
There's 12 of them. Well, there's 13, but one got lost.
Alright, everyone. Hello and welcome to the stream. I am Razin, and This is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. And now...
A reminder that the musical Cats movie has a edit with buttholes in it, which supposedly still exists. They cut that out at the last second. Hashtag restore the butthole edit. Okay, continue.
With that,
Hashtag
we're
bring
gonna
back the
turn this over
Bring back the
to
buttholes.
Mickey.
No, he got he's
he's
home in quarantine, dude. What's going on?
Yeah, and he's in your head. He lives there.
No, I kicked him out. He was too close. Social distancing.
But you can't get rid of him fully.
I did. I
It's
got
called social
anti.
distancing.
Yeah, exactly. I just say that and produce my produce a card, and he just goes away. I'm not going to tell you what's on that card because it's a secret weapon of mine.
And then
Reverse.
and his anti-bird bubble appears.
Yep, it's it's a screenshot from the butthole edit. Just drives him right away.
Okay then.
As it would most predators.
Thank
Ray, you
you.
there?
I absolutely despise this.
Someday in the future, we will get that. Man, I want to be part of that timeline. Actually, gonna be real. The timeline that we're in, kind of not rad.
Yeah, man, I want the timeline with the edgy Zootopia version.
Someone please reload the autosave they did. This isn't funny anymore.
Yeah, it's just, somebody,
We-
quick load, real quick,
We've got
before I
no.
lose my mind.
2020
No, we gotta find
really feels like it's being run by Randy Random.
We really gotta find the save data back to 2012. Something
Yeah,
weird happened there.
somebody did a quick save in 2012 and just kept going.
No. We had to find a hard save file. The quick save hasn't lasted.
Actually, I have the best technology for 2020. Have you ever just played Skyrim and then saved before you're about to go murder a whole town? Just
Yeah.
to see what the hell happened? Yeah, we're right at that save.
No, we're way past that save.
Yeah. Someone needs to reload back to that save.
Reload back to like 1914. That's when it started.
I completely forgot about the wildfires earlier this year.
Oh yeah, no, me too.
It feels like it was
right
a
about now.
freaking year or two ago.
No, it was in January that Australia burned down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, should we start the game?
Yeah, we probably should.
One of my favorite things, really early on in the year, like late January, it was like January 1st. All right, 2019 sucked, but maybe we can do better this time. January 2nd, Australia's on fire. January 3rd, World War III might be starting. Remember that?
I remember that
The
actually.
World War III memes? The World War III
I remember the
rumors?
gigantic flex that was.
Yeah. I lived the
I'm not
the
gonna get into it.
plague.
Anyways, let's get into it. Last session, you guys ended up fighting some biological and necromantic amalgamation formed from God knows what, but gave you guys a run for your money. Ended up downing, I think, 3 of you before it was rightfully killed by, I think, Dusty. Can't quite remember. Might have been Blue, actually. Anyways, it's dead. Dusty has sicked a puddle on it to kind of devour it and clean it up, which it is doing fairly well. And by the time we left off, I believe it was starting to reveal some little shiny bits inside the body itself. So we will continue off where we left off with you guys not feeling too great. I think the best of you has about half health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would. I think Yarik's doing the best. He's just above half health.
Yeah.
Just below half health, actually.
Yeah, I'm hurting.
But yeah, you guys are up, and you guys are starting to kind of go through all that remains. As pudding kind of starts getting to the juicy bits, so to speak, a few undigestible bits start to float to its surface and just kind of almost get forced to the outside of this orangish red jello sphere. Just kind of getting forced and squeezed out onto the ground. Where's the parcel? Here it is. All in all, a remarkable lack of coinage. In all, I believe it was two platinum dragons and 5 electrum tabs. And you can see that in the inventory page right now. However, you do find a large, almost like what looks to be like a cigar case, but a little bit more depth. And opening it up, you find a collection of those quartz audio crystals. The little lattice of tiny little air bubbles, almost sparkling. These ones are much finer, much smaller resolution on these little bubbles. But you open it up and you see that there are 8 crystals inside, unmarked. You also hear a little clink as a very substantial sized diamond falls out, kind of in a rough cut state. And then shortly after that, a very empty sounding strongbox gets spat out, clonking to the floor with a decent amount of heft just from the lockbox itself, but you don't really hear anything inside.
Ooh.
So, what do you do?
I'm gonna start identifying the lockbox.
All right. The lockbox itself appears to be unlocked. Or it might have been locked in the past, but it was unlocked and just kind of pops right open. And inside, you see a large collection of neatly bundled and kind of grouped banknotes. All of them or banknotes and sort of treasury bonds and stuff like that. Looking through it, it looks to have an approximate wealth, as the best of your brain's calculator can go through it, of about 9,550 Galifars.
That's a lot.
What a shame that we don't have a bank to turn them in because it went missing mysteriously.
I'm sure there's
Yeah,
another
you know
bank.
The one bank on the other side of Faerun. And there's probably not another one.
This is where Dova struggles to remember if you put more than one bank in the game.
I'm struggling to remember the name of the actual continent. Because you said Faerun, and my my internal
right.
senses are like...
Let's start with the K.
Yes, it does. Corvair is the name of the continent.
I was gonna say Kaldar, but I knew that was wrong.
I'm pretty sure that's Calgar's a place on Faerun.
I think so.
I was going to say Chlorophyll, but that's Key and Peel.
I was gonna say chlorine, but that's an element.
I was gonna say chlorophyll, but that's a powerhouse of the plant cell.
I was gonna say kale, but that's just lettuce with a shorter name.
I was gonna say Clorox, but that's a cleaning agent.
I was gonna say kale, but that's like a ferret.
All right, someone text me when they're done.
I'm gonna say kill in a minute and actually do it.
Do it. Anyways,
No, I'm pretty good on the killing part today.
We almost got back on track.
almost. You're back on track now.
Choo choo.
Yeah.
Wow, Dova, stop railroading us.
Hey guys, I got railroaded a few sessions ago. We have
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah, no, we all got railroaded. I think me included, technically. Anyways. What are you guys doing? Aside from sort of looking through the loot? I think there's still that, not really fist size, more like a kiwi-sized diamond. Probably
You
a
gotta
cobalt
hold it.
fist. Yeah, it feels pretty hefty. And staring into it, it is very shiny. Not as shiny as it could be, since it is fairly rough cut, but, you know, it's a dang diamond.
Hey, Zerf,
Yes.
do you need this for your spells?
I will get back to you on that. As I have to look up my spells.
Does your god require that you sacrifice a diamond to them in order to cast miracle?
Diamonds are
Uh,
required for greater restoration as well as revivify.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Unless he's using revivify on me.
Aha!
Yeah, I'll need the diamond for greater restoration and revivify.
Okay, then I'm gonna like thrust the diamond into his pocket.
All right.
Thank you. I'll put that away.
All right. It is in your inventory.
Don't lose it.
I shall cherish it. Sparkle, sparkle.
Shing. Sparkle, sparkle.
Oh, do we
Anyways,
have
I
it on
believe
the
that would
party
leave-
sheet?
It was.
No,
That
well, I
would
was
leave
meaning the
the
rest.
large box with the with all those audio crystals in it, as well as I believe Yark's got the banknotes.
Nate will take the audio crystals.
All right.
Rosalind has absolutely no idea what to do with the banknotes, so those are up for.
Well, apparently Yark grabbed those.
Yark was the
I-
one looking through them, so if he wants to transfer them, that's up to him.
I'm currently looking at them now. Yes. Can we put? Are we putting it in the party sheet?
It's in your inventory now.
Why would you do that? Okay.
Because I genius.
I guess Zib and I could take a platinum dragon each.
All right.
Yeah, that would be nice at least.
You know, if I press the button, I don't think it'll transfer any coins. Because there's more than 5 people in the party.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So currently unassigned to anyone is 5 Galifars, a Sovereign, 5 Crowns, 5 Electrum Tabs, and 2 Platinum Dragons.
Well,
I am good for no money because I just got a diamond that is used to keep this party alive.
well, Rosalind and Sinnoh both took Platinum Dragon.
Alright.
So you just want to erase those from the parcel? I
Did
guess we'll do
you-
it manually.
Yeah, go ahead and add them manually.
I guess the rest of them we could give to Blue and Dusty.
All right.
Uh,
How much money does Blue even have?
That's really funny. I said it on mute, unfortunately. I said
Oh.
I've got a dusty box of records, and then I looked over at the chat, and then I have someone's music collection now.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in there is rip and tear.mp4. I'm
Hey, there's
calling.
an actual track list that you can't actually look at until you spend the time to go through each one.
Oh, I got a dude's gonna go to that machine now. He's still fuming. He's still pissed. He's just gonna walk away.
All right. It actually turns out that the entrance, the door, that seems to be barred from this side, leads right into the study.
Oh yeah, weren't we considering resting in the study?
I believe so.
Yeah, we were.
Can I reset all of this? Whatever. All right, so forgot what I was gonna say. You make your way back into the study after a little bit of hard work, grunting and pushing the large door bar out of the way. It's fairly well balanced, so you can lift up on it pretty easily, but it's very thick. But heading back into the study itself, you can see that the large sort of stereo box is still there, and the little crumbled pieces of that previous, almost like a personal log, are still kind of on the ground. The quartz turned a little cloudy.
Yeah, I'm going to. I want to look through the track list real quick.
All right. You can just play like the start of each one just to get a brief intro to what each one does.
All right, I'm gonna keep scanning through these until I find one that I like, and then he's just gonna start drinking whiskey.
All right. You can look at the track list now.
List?
It should be in the item description. I identified it, so you should have access to all of it. One sovereign and 5 Galifars.
Are we still down in the quote unquote tombs?
No, we moved back into the study.
Back in the study.
There's only a short distance separating the two areas, so you can just look from one area to the other.
I'm gonna keep an active eye to see if I just to pay attention if anybody or anything is following us.
Gotcha.
All right, so Anood's gonna originally put on 8.
All right.
Track number 8, and then the more he drinks, the quicker it turns to 5.
As about 5 minutes go by, and you guys start to hear like a very slow, sort of almost like a lullaby piece, with a faint opera singing slowly coming through from that basically that jukebox that you guys saw. Until after about 10 minutes or so, it changes to an upbeat, very, very jumpy polka music with plenty of accordions and drums. And
it's the driving music or the boating music from SpongeBob.
I forget what that sounds like, but you said driving, and I immediately thought of like the Warthog song from Red vs. Blue.
That boating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Lopez's song.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna smoke a cigar extra slow as I try to wonder what that noise is.
It's a style of music that is very, very old.
will always make me laugh.
It's not quite that, but it is very, very energetic, very bouncy.
Nyx is too much for me.
What are those status effects on like everyone in the combat tracker?
Frightened. You never
yeah.
removed them. You did as a frightened.
I'll remove those real quick. So, are you guys going to take a rest inside?
A rest would be good.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, our halfling, or I forget what he was, friend, can do us a favor and stay on watch for a little bit.
Ernest
All right.
Nimblefoot, the halfling.
Watch while they
Ariabor.
take a nap.
Yeah. So, as you guys do you guys want to go for a long rest or just take a short rest?
I could use a log rest.
All right, and I assume you guys are going to be like barricading the doors up.
yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
As you like
and-
push stuff over and knock over like bookshelves full of kind of rotted, crumbling books.
All right. Before I do that, I'm going to recast Animate Dead.
All right. Go ahead and mark that on that spell slot. All right. So,
Let's see. Yeah, I'm just rocking out to this polka music.
about 2 hours into your rest, you guys are basically just telling Aryabor to stay awake and keep watch.
Yeah.
Gaster and Osborne are around.
Gotcha.
I can
Um,
put them in. Oh yeah, I'll put them in each doorway.
I'm guessing we'll rotate out, right?
but where are you sleeping in the room?
Who's Ariabor?
Aryabor
halfling?
is the halfling.
Oh, right. The one with all the
The one who
vowels.
basically came along for that art piece.
Indian's gonna slump up on the floor next to the machine. Next to the
Alright.
jukebox.
As
Sinnoh
far
and
as
DeSoda
soft
are
cushion
curling
places,
up.
there's kind of the old cot in the corner where the skeleton is kind of laying on, as well as the fairly soft looking rug in the middle of the room that looks to be in fairly decent shape.
Yeah, we're curling up on
fluffy
the rug.
Okay,
I'm just gonna sploot on the rug.
gotcha.
Yark is going to sploot on Zerth.
All right.
I don't know. I'm imagining the audio machine in this over here in this corner.
Pretty much, it's about the size of a jukebox, about 150 pounds. So probably a little heavier.
150 pounds.
Yeah, about.
I think $140 now, right? That's a cheap jukebox.
Shush. That's a bad pun, and you know it.
And your calculation as well.
Yeah, probably.
It would be about $100. It would be about $170.
Okay.
So who all is on the rug?
I am.
I guess it needs
I'd assume
And-
everybody
Upper-
that's
Dark it is as
showing
well.
on. It's a mimic, isn't it?
Worse.
It's tacky.
It looks horrible.
This fashion statement gives us damage.
All right, so let me see.
Did everyone forget that things are apparently cursed?
Yes,
That's
I
only if
haven't
we
been
try
here in
taking
2.
something.
Yes, I haven't been here for 2.
Okay, apparently I missed a soda.
This thing have to do like a damn strength check because it's got 600 pounds laying on it and a table.
600
More than
pounds
six-
plus.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm 400 alone.
I was gonna
okay.
say, I think Zer's about 600 by himself.
Also,
Deal the damage right away.
are we counting with or without Inun's?
Oh, that's
What?
okay. That's after. Gotcha. Sorry, what did you say?
I don't think that works.
600 pounds plus. Are we counting with or without Inun's ego?
An ego.
That's rough. It crits Inun, but it doesn't actually do any damage with the hit. So
Interesting.
I'm just gonna ignore that.
It turns out the bat just wants to give you a soothing massage.
Kind of. As it is a modified rug of smothering.
Oh, great.
Um,
So is it
As
a rug
it-
of snuggling?
as more kind of razor wire.
Hmm.
As the rug, which was arguably fashionable at some point in the distant past. Kind of shudders for a brief moment before all the threads sort of tear apart at once, revealing a very dense steel wire net below. As it starts to coil around the sharp, fairly thin wires and strands digging in. But that would get a lot of people. That would get Yark. That would get Sinel. Sorry, not Sinel.
Even though I'm on top of Zer, they're not actually touching it.
Yeah. Since you are technically adjacent to it, map-wise.
It got me. I mean, we could make the argument that since you were on top of me, it just kind of auto wrapped you.
It just kept going a little bit. But it did miss DeSoto, at least. Alright, so everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
I see, we weren't resting long enough to get those full rest benefits, weren't we?
No.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Exciting.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
I mean, you said it was 2 hours, right? We could roll hit die.
Technically, yeah, if you have a hit die, that is.
Somebody hit die.
Everybody knows exactly what's happening. All right, that's it. That's it.
He found a loophole. Everyone
Yeah,
heal.
you're done. Hey, what did I just say? Good God, that's a lot of hit dice. Sinel, hey,
We're-
stop it.
We were really injured.
You had your 2, 1 per hour.
Jocelyn got 3.
1 per
Well,
hour? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's any number of hit dice for an hour's rest.
Whose turn is it first? Stop it.
The
Rosalind.
Very sad one after the end of this.
Rosalind.
Me?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just gonna take the smork approach to this.
All right. Oh, that's your rage. Okay. I just saw the effects and I got confused.
Rosalind smash.
All right.
Oh, hey, Dova, I just realized something.
Yeah.
I was never given, like, an item or something to remember what my slime potion...
Oh yeah, because Dusty has it.
This thing isn't even in the
I see.
combat tracker, so I can't even attack it.
Ah, right. There you go.
Yeah. I was about to say, is that how it gets past being smashed? Just doesn't appear in the combat tracker.
Here you go, bub.
Tales of our endeavors
All right, that hits.
proliferate.
Is that a crit?
Not yet. It would be if you guys got had a full rest. Those all hit.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll a d4 real quick.
Oh, I did my first bit of damage.
All right, cool. That's 15. I'm setting it high real quick so I get a total tally of all the damage.
Well, there we go. I stopped rolling damage.
All right.
I did notice it went to dying immediately.
Yeah, no, I set it from whatever it was to 100 just so I could avoid it immediately going into negatives, but I'm going to set it back to the normal right here. That'd be 16, so that's 6, 8, 4, that's 14, 16, plus 8, 24. Sinel, you take 24 points of a mix. I think that's mostly bludgeoning damage. Yeah. Sinel?
Okay.
As the rug doesn't do that much to actually shield you from the bashing. All right.
I just love that we have a rug of smothering that's killing people and someone's beating it, but there's also polka music just playing in the background.
Yep. It's very energetic too. All right, so go ahead and give me a athletics or acrobatics check. Sorry?
Either 0 or -1.
For what? That is the DC.
Hey.
As you manage to wriggle out of its very wiry, sharp embrace. However, I believe that is the end. No, you still have a bonus action movement left.
Okay, movement, get off the rug, bonus action, these 3 idiots start wailing on it.
All right. Give me a D4 for each of them. Sorry, a D3. So D4, ignore 4.
Okay, so while he's rolling, has anyone here seen Kung Pao enter the...
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So what I imagine is Yark and Zerth and whoever else, I can't remember for anyone else, all trapped in this blanket, and like his goons come up with big sticks and just start smacking it, like that one scene where he's trying to where he's getting everyone to hit him with sticks so he can try to he just run up and start beating the crap out of the rug while we're
All right, so who's attacking first?
The shitty little goblin.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
Zombie. Oh, I rolled the d4s. I don't know what you wanted those for.
Oh, this is just determining who it's going to hit on the inside.
Oh, okay. Okay, so combat tracker 1.
All right, that's going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, nice. Good.
All right, Sinnoh, you take 2 more damage.
This seems. Was that related to that attack? They're on very different
God.
sides of the rug.
Yeah, it's just a mechanics thing, just to simplify.
Nice.
That one is going to miss.
Then Gaster.
That's going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Yark, you take 3 points of piercing damage.
ow.
Man, it's like every time they hit the rug, you get hurt. Do something about that.
Seems to be about half damage.
Hit the rug more. You'll fix it.
What are we talking about? Half damage? We don't know anything about damage. What is that?
That's
Oh,
true.
wait.
I mean, you know what damage is, but not like a numerical abstraction of damage.
Yeah.
Sinnoh. First,
So acrobatics or athletics to
escape. Yep. Oh my goodness, you are having a rough time.
yeah. You didn't let me roll as much as everybody else.
That'll definitely make it. As you emerge from the point that a lot of people have been kind of wailing on, just looking like even worse than right after the fight.
He is basically just going to roll away from it.
All right,
And that is it. He is
gotcha.
too wounded for anything else.
He's just done. Zerth.
Mm,
All right,
So- go ahead.
here's the damage first. You take 9 points of bludgeoning from the smother.
So, have you ever thrown a cloth over a gator's eyes?
I don't believe so. No.
No, they don't act too kindly about that initially. So I'm gonna roll d20, and he's either gonna do something really stupid or really smart.
I'm excited.
Oh, he's gonna do
Ooh.
the stupid thing. He's gonna cast Firewall.
Nice knowing you, York.
Oh, buddy, oh boy.
Hey, I'm pretty healthy.
At level 5.
I don't know if I'm not a healthy enough boy.
All right, so 20 feet. I'm guessing
If
you're
we
just
can give
right
him that
up
damage.
or right in front of yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. Depending on where you do it, you might not hit some people.
I'm trying to do it in a way that I will minimize the friendly fire.
I mean, you can't really see. Also, you are technically restrained, so and since
No,
Fireball
I will do it centered on myself.
does require a somatic component, correct?
I don't know, actually.
It
It's
requires
material
all
and somatic. It's all 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would not actually be able to do so, since you are restrained. You can make the grapple check to break free, though, which is athletics or acrobatics, as your action.
Hey, I might live!
Okay.
Bang, you're out.
Yeah,
you got your
because
bonus action and your movement left.
he was gonna channel divinity that too.
Also,
yeah.
for the record, we do also all have T that gives a +2 bonus to a roll each from Manir?
Oh, it's for each of us.
Yeah. Each
Gotcha.
person has... You can use a +2 bonus to any roll at some point.
Ah,
I'm gonna smack it. Yeah. PSA, folks, don't wrestle alligators. They don't
Right.
like it.
does that bonus action attack require that you cast a spell or do anything like that first?
Nope. Just I can use it up to my wisdom mod.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll to attack. Hits.
Alright, and then let's see, this does an extra. Oop, nope. Let's not do that. Does an extra 1d8. Oh, look. Double twos. Way to go there.
Alright, so that's 4 points of damage to you, Yark.
Okay. Wait, I didn't take damage from Fireball, did I? Or
No,
did you
because it
not
didn't
cast
go off.
Fireball?
Nope. You were saved by mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I believe that's your turn, right?
Well, saved by flavor. There is no actual rule that says that you can't cast while being restrained.
I think restrained specifically implies that.
Unless
Or does it not say that?
it only
It
stops
does
you from
not say
casting.
that whatsoever.
It only
That's
stops you
it.
from casting things with somatic components.
No,
If it doesn't have
even the restrained restriction doesn't actually have anything about because I'm reading a thread on it right now because people have discussed this in the past. Being completely immobilized, this relates more into role playing a situation rather than being restrained. Is a way to stop somatic components. So if you're like tying people up for story purposes, then yeah, that's fine. But if somebody is being constricted by a giant snake, for instance, they can still cast spells. They'll just be a negative for being casting a spell in melee like normal. Ironically, though, the blinded condition does more to a spellcaster than you would think, because if a spellcaster can't see, then they can't cast any spell that says at a creature that you can.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, the other two situations are wielding a weapon or shield, where you can't cast spells with a weapon in hand unless you have the warcast, and not having hands, as in druids with wild shape can't cast other spells while morphed into something that doesn't have hands.
DeSoda. I believe it's his turn, so would he go for the rug?
Well, Sinnoh would not have given him a command, but yes, he would, because that would have been more defensive kind of against, or for, Sinnoh and everybody else.
Gotcha.
Would he get
Go ahead
his
and-
advantage for pack tactics or no?
Yeah, he would.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that would apply or not.
Gotcha. That hits. All right.
Does it succeed?
It does not, but I don't know if it can really be knocked prone.
I'm putting it prone anyways.
Yark, you take 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Yark.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and give me a grapple check.
Wait,
So
I take more
acrobatics
damage?
or athletics.
Oh,
Yep, for smothering at the start of your turn.
Can I do something else?
What would you like to do?
I want to turn into a.
You want to turn into a slime with that action?
Yes.
All right, what's the
So then-
recharge on that again?
Don't.
Gotcha.
But it says
Sure.
I can squeeze through essentially any side.
Yeah, you could absolutely do that. As you sort of invoke upon that, your your body kind of moves in ways that you never really thought about. It's just kind of instinctual as you just kind of flow out of the various tiny little gaps inside the kind of razor wire enclosure. You are now kind of seeping right through, and before you know it, you're now spread out along the floor as the rest of you see. What color is the slime?
Red, because I'm also red.
Gotcha. As you guys basically see a large puddle of coagulated blood just kind of seep through and start moving around under its own locomotion.
Kill it!
Is it
Kill it!
Is it opaque or is it kind of semi-transparent?
It's kind of semi-translucent.
All right, cool. That's cooler.
I'm prepared to fireball it.
All right.
Can I stand up and be in the shape?
Give me a dexterity check.
Because that's like my natural shape. Regardless
Actually,
of
I
what
think
I'm made of.
this might be Constitution, just because you're sort of trying to will it together.
Save or throw or check.
I'm gonna say Constitution check.
Can I use the first number I rolled?
Yes. So
Okay.
16. As it starts to kind of push itself together into a taller and taller, almost like a pillar, and as a vaguely sort of humanoid shape, a little bit shorter than Yark was.
I feign like looking at my hands, even though I probably can't really see the exact same way, and I say cool, but it just kind of comes out as a blurb.
Yeah, just kind of a gurgle.
There's two of them. We shall smite thee.
And I think you have your bonus action left.
Oh, in response, they're saying we shall smite thee, I'm gonna wave my little pseudopods, like the little no, and get splatter the goblin just a little bit from the.
There's a little bit of like red slime just getting flung through the room and slowly kind of coagulating on the floor.
Do I understand that?
I think insight would probably be required.
Yeah, we'll get to it on your turn though.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the end of my.
All right, so it's going to
Apparently, it's unconscious.
it's going to try to smother Yark again, but fail as you basically slaps down on top of you, and it just goes right through.
I don't notice until it already hit the ground.
Mm-hmm. It's not very smart, and it doesn't have very much health left.
Blue could be the hero we always need.
He could be.
Again, because
I forgot to roll initiative for him and Dusty.
He killed the enemy, the boss.
Oh, he did.
He got the final blow, so he can be our hero again.
I would hope that this kills it. That is the wrong thing to grab. And that's going to be an L. As he looks over and cleaves quite a bit of it as it sort of lunges out at Sinnoh, cutting it in twain. As you guys are now out of combat. And you are now... Actually, you're not out of combat yet. There's a slime in the room.
Yes, there is.
I'm going to look at Blue and I'm going to be like, I softened it for you.
Like, I cut it in half.
No, you softened me.
I can soften you more if you like.
No.
Was that was that an innuendo?
I'm gonna hop up on the table and hold my.
And do what?
I'm gonna hold my action and see what the slime does or not.
Gotcha.
Because, like, Yark drank a bottle of slime, and I'm not that stupid.
And Yark isn't anywhere around the room unless he's smothered under the remains of the wire carpet. Ain't it?
Hey,
Actually, we could probably
Dusty
drop
had
out of
popped up
initiative
in
now.
the chat. Where? Oh, he's in tutoring. I see.
Yeah.
Never mind.
All right, we can probably drop initiative right now.
Yeah, Noon's gonna go back to enjoying the polka.
All right.
I'm gonna see if this slime is friend or foe.
Poke it.
Insight check.
Go right ahead.
Kill it.
Yark,
Yes.
based on your own understanding of how charismatic and people skills, like how good his people skills are, would that roll lead to him knowing that you are Yark?
Oh, I'm not trying to hide it. Part of what I'm doing is admiring how cool my new.
Yeah. I'd say, Zerth, you could probably put the pieces together. Doesn't look like he's gonna try to absorb you,
More
but I mean that could always change.
It's sounding more to me like we don't think that it's unfriendly, that it's hostile, but I don't think we'd put together that it's Yark.
Either it is Yark or it absorbed Yark.
and came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at the slime and just get ready to cast a spell if it moves any way hostile towards me.
Gotcha. So he's still like understood.
I mean, we just fought a goo worm like not like 3 hours ago, so
That's true.
he's not trying anything down here.
Do the rest of us
If we
even
need
know
to,
what this thing does, like this magic item that he's got?
I mean, I said what it was, and I said, "Hey, does anyone want to get slime powers?" And no
Yeah,
one
that's
spoke
why-
up, so I drank.
That's why.
Yeah,
Noon
like,
doesn't
we-
care because he wanted it. He was aware of what the item was.
Okay.
We literally sat there for half an hour and waited for somebody to decide what to do.
Okay, then yeah, we would have an idea.
I don't think Zerk was paying attention during that conversation.
Sinel definitely wasn't. He was recovering from, nearly dying.
No, Zerth was because remember we went over the whole thing where if he dies he becomes a freaking pudding.
Oh
and no
yeah.
one was a fan of that. Yeah, we're all aware.
Okay, I'm gonna smack the back of the head of this Yark thing and go. See, this is what happens when you drink mysterious potions you find on the.
But how hard do you slap?
Not like hard enough that he knows, but not hard enough to cause like any like type of damage. Like a gimp
It's-
slap.
It's non-lethal. He technically doesn't go down and dies if it's non-lethal. If Zerf declares non-lethal.
It's hard. It doesn't actually damage him, but it like kind of scoops up into the back of his head and just kind of like pushes his face over.
I'm assuming it's moist. Like his hand just hits it and just goes.
Yeah,
Yep,
kind of
pretty
sticks
much.
to your hand a little bit.
His whole body jiggles, like for an extended period. And that moment, I'm gonna say the minute runs out at that moment.
Okay.
And when Yark reforms, he kind of like condenses further and solidifies. And he's like upside down on it, like on his shoulders, on his back, standing up, but upside down. That makes sense. Like on his back, but standing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get the legs and arms in the right.
Probably what was causing them so much trouble.
And then he just falls over backwards.
Understood.
Oh, and in response, he says to Zerth, "But that's where all the fun stuff is."
You were
He
gonna
just
be the
comes
judge
back
for
and-
me.
And one of his arms is swapped with his tail.
Whoops!
That's gonna be one of these times.
Shakes both of them, and then suddenly they're back.
I don't think bathing is gonna be anywhere in your near future.
Well, duh! And he hooks his finger through the collar on his neck. I have this.
How is that not exploding you now?
Because the slime is me.
I need a drink.
And it'll offer some of his bottle.
I will take some of that.
All right, so
He grabs
as you
it. shoves-
guys managed to make it through the remainder of your long rest without any more incidents. You guys
Good,
are
because
healed
I
up to
was getting
full.
cranky.
You guys have all of your new level stuff, and half of your hit dice should automatically come back.
I forgot that I'm 1 foot tall now.
Inun and Zerth, give me a Constitution check.
Sure. Constitution check.
I'm gonna get a bonus for this.
Oh, nice.
An alcohol
Zerth, you
check.
didn't really drink enough compared to your body weight to have a hangover in the morning, but Inun, as you wake up, you've got a slight headache. You can't really move your head too fast at one time, else it kind of hurts quite a bit. Yeah?
I'm gonna change the track to 1 because it seems like wake up music.
Gotcha. You do realize that the jukebox is not bolted to the floor.
You just attach it to Zerf's back.
How
Battle
big is
music.
it? Can I shove it into a bag of holding?
No. It's a bit too big to actually fit within the bag.
Yark, do you think you can make a more efficient version of this?
What is it exactly?
Jukebox.
A jukebox?
It's a gramophone, by the sounds of it.
It's something that takes audio out of crystals.
I could try.
Yeah, it's like a gramophone, only it just doesn't take vinyl, it takes crystal. I would imagine it because Eberron is very steampunk.
Instead of
first I-
using a blend of technology and magic, it uses magic solutions for technology problems.
Yep.
I have to take it apart first. And he brings up his hand holding a hammer, and then like 8 tiny little hammers pop out of his wrist sleeve.
It's going to take a fairly long time, as well as a dedicated workshop space for you to properly reverse engineer this thing.
Yeah, maybe some other time.
I'll carry it.
During my free time, I'm going to continue working on. What was my last?
I don't remember.
I thought I put the collars on hold, the curd items on hold for some.
I believe so. Yeah, you did. Rosalind, what's your strength? I think it should be high enough.
It's 20.
20? Yeah, you can move at... Just because of the bulk and the unwieldiness of it, you could probably move at half speed.
Wait, does someone have a reduce?
That spell is banned.
I can throw it in my bag that way.
I'm told not to cast that spell.
No.
Correction. Don't cast the spell when we have a live studio on.
Yeah.
I don't have anything like that. I just have crazy spells at this point.
It's fine. Honestly,
My
right?
hamster is getting antsy.
I
If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
I can carry up to 300
Already
pounds.
we're getting the influence.
I haven't even cast the spell yet, guys.
Mention of the spell.
I can
That is
carry
all
up.
it takes.
I can carry up to 300 pounds. I can lift, push, and drag up to 600. So I'll be fine.
But how
Oh.
efficiently can you carry a giant vending machine sized thing?
You can go in straight lines at your full speed, but turning is a event.
So
I'll just
what
have
am
to. I just have to get you know one of those really exaggerated adventurers backpacks where it's like a shit ton of packs all tied on top of each other, tied by a net.
Yeah.
Just think
I'll
of
just-
the Legion slaves backpacks in New Vegas.
Yeah,
It's like 3 times the size of them.
yeah, that's effectively what it would be for Rosalind. We'll just have to like tie it down with all of that rope that I gave to Yark.
Sinel and
that rope is a lot smaller than it
just
was.
Sinel, I suppose. Sinel, go ahead and give me a perception check.
So, my favorite, and so they're in chat. They're talking about, hey, I'm just gonna stick this entire jukebox in my bag, and that's like art. And then, yeah, Inun says, "Isn't that RPG logic?" And my favorite instance of this kind of thing is probably Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda, where early on you get this enormous fishing rod, and when you put it away, he just kind of like whoop right in his pocket.
I think my favorite rendition is Animal Crossing, where you can have an entire wind turbine in your pocket.
I was
Well,
just
Sinel.
picturing Lighthouse.
Can everyone
That's
shut up
different. It
for like
turns
a
into-
second?
Yes, stop.
So, as quickly as you do spot this, Sinel, Blue is actually a little bit quicker on the draw than you. Kind of lumbering over to one of the piles of kind of crumbled books, where you see him grab a kind of a bulging envelope. It doesn't appear to have anything on it aside from a black wax seal. Pressed into it, the symbol indicating Inun's name.
What do you got there?
Just kind of looks over and he says, "His big letter on it, fancy letter. Looks like." And he starts kind of lumbering over to Inun.
Inun's ears are gonna perk up, even though his thoughts are pretty thick. He'll reach
Everything's
out
kind of
for-
fuzzy right now.
Head
Yeah, he'll
full
reach
of
out.
many thoughts.
His brain feels like his tail. It's just fuzzy.
He'll hand
Wait,
the
when did-
envelope to you.
Uh,
Yeah, he'll open the envelope.
All right. Inside is nothing but one of those sound crystals. But whereas the music ones are just stuffed to the brim with these little inscriptions and air bubbles, this one just has a handful.
He's going to put it aside for now. The room's pretty full.
All right.
You're not gonna play it?
I'll get to that later. I still want to figure out this jukebox.
Okay.
His head's still nodding because the music's still playing.
Gotcha. It's a kind of a nice, boisterous, energetic piece, featuring lots of brass and sounds like a harpsichord.
Brass will start your day off well.
Oh yeah, it'll get you going. Nice little marching mood.
so yeah. Do you want me to pick this thing up or what?
Yeah, well, I'll investigate it a little more. See if there's anything like coming off of it. I don't know, power sources. I don't know if the whole unit is self-contained.
You're looking through. Would you cast detect magic?
Yeah.
It seems that it's just coming from the unit itself. It's not coming from any sort of leads or anything buried in the wall. So it does look to be self-sustained. It's on these kind of clawed legs that sort of look like a fancy bathtub.
I want to cast Identify and see if this is a spell I might be able to perform just myself.
Sure. Casting Identify would it would probably reveal that there's just a lot of of various runes and spells employed in this thing actually working. All of them kind of working in tandem, but it doesn't appear that there's any singular spell that could fulfill this purpose at this time.
That's what he was thinking. It was probably too complex.
That you know of,
Go
at
for
least.
the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes! Rusk!
Ooh, that's a big one.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, it's Jaffer.
All right, so Rosalind, you can fairly easily pick it up as you guys start to make your way out. I assume that would be the next course of action. That is.
Yep. Because even half my movement speed is about 5 behind everyone else, so I should be able to keep up.
Jaffer, I'll leave it up to send me the info on that again, please. I'll leave it up to Dova on how much influence, but technically this would probably fall under only a major.
I'm not exactly sure what that is either. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that. He gave it to the Wednesday group as well. In fact, Crag might have it in his inventory. I don't know if Gold King ever put it in there. If
that's the case, then that is perfect.
Crag, is it in your inventory?
I'm not.
What's in my inventory?
The load bow.
The what?
Oh, right. You've been absent for a while. That magic bow gun thing that you were given.
Eating crossbow?
I don't think I ever finished getting that.
You were supposed to, but yeah, you kinda.
Anyways, we can get that part figured out later. You guys start to make your way out. He just kind of shrugs as he knocked a box off the shelf.
No, Gaster wandered into the other room.
Oh.
Get back here.
But you guys start to make your way out with a lot less trouble than last time. Stepping out from these caverns into the into that large, almost outdoor space. It is currently snowing in this small contained forest. But the other earth elementals who you fought on the way in don't give you any trouble as you make your way through the snow uneventfully. It appears to still be nighttime, even though some of your internal clocks say it should be daytime. But you start on the very long trek out. Craig, you here?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, you were investigating an ancient set of ruins. Basically nothing more than a few upright stones in a kind of a rocky field. You'd found your way into a basement But as you pass through a doorway, a hidden trap must have been sent off, and a burst of magic followed and sent you hurling through space. You ended up waking up inside a long, endlessly expansive tunnel in either direction, about 100 feet across. This was about 20 minutes ago, and you're still trying to figure out exactly where you are. Do you have any light sources on you?
I can cast chromatic light.
Sorry? You
One
cut out at
second.
the end there.
Sorry, my internet's terrible.
Chromatic orb. Gotcha. Or you've also got dancing lights, so that would also work.
Yeah, chromatic orb is a leveled attacking offensive spell.
Okay, sorry, I misremembered what I got.
No, you're fine. Dancing lights works perfect.
As you are kind of making your way, you think this is towards an exit. You felt a little gust of air from this direction, and you smell a very faint smell of evergreen trees. But as you're making your way down, you kind of you force yourself to keep going and avoid stopping, going back, since every so often you feel an unearthly presence almost just over your shoulder.
The record, he'd be accompanied by a large bear.
Gotcha. In addition to the bear, you would feel a unearthly presence.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Sorry?
Neither of you heard each other.
Cool. Long story short, you're going down a long tunnel, long dark tunnel, followed by ghosts.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was like, I didn't hear you. And then Dove was like, I'm sorry. And then silence.
But as the rest of the party starts to make their way from the large interior forest back into that long sort of foreboding tunnel, you see off in the distance, you actually see from this from the light down there that the tunnel is very slightly curved upwards. You see a faint light along with two figures kind of traversing down. Craig, as you make your way closer, you see a light up ahead. It appears to be a faint moonlight, possibly from an exterior space. You feel a very slight cold wind. But if you go ahead and describe your character as you come into discernible range.
Craig is... Sorry, my internet keeps cutting out.
No problem. You can hear you just fine right now.
I will move the server we're on. Might be helpful.
Craig is a 7-foot-tall gnoll with kind of ratty-looking Green Ranger clothing. He's sniffing about the air, trying to get a good location of where, or a good idea of where he is.
All right. And by this point, the way the wind is, you can gain the faint scent of a group of people. Though the exact kind of composition of the group is unknown. But just up ahead, you can see a few shadows inside that gateway into the night sky.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure he'll hear Surf coming before he sees him.
There's a lot of clanking, and there
Oh my
seems to
God.
be a large piece of furniture that's being propelled by itself.
Craig attempts to stealth and move to a position to observe them without being...
Go ahead and give me a stealth check. All right. Do you put the light out?
Yeah, the light's gone.
All right. For those of you in the main party, you see the light wink out.
We already
As
saw
you-
you.
I'm gonna send the zombies over.
Oh God.
Great first impression.
So, in addition to the ghosts that are no longer being held back by a light, you also start to hear the clanking, sort of creaking sound of. Is it just the skeletons, or are you also sending Gaster? Or just
Yeah,
the
I'll send
zombies? Or
Gaster.
no Gaster?
No, Gaster and the zombies. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the kind of creaking sound that desiccated flesh makes when it runs,
That sounds
in
like...
addition to a sort of clackety clanky armored skeleton.
Petrified skeleton.
Yeah, with kind of a really unsteady walk.
And too many dents in his skull.
Mm.
That sounds like some kind of band name. Gaster and the Zombies.
Caster and the undead groupies or something like that.
Bluegrass.
Everyone sounds like a really bad text to speech. I'm gonna disconnect and try reconnecting.
Okay. It's going well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound a bit better.
Awesome. So, long story short, 2 zombies, a skeleton, and at least a handful of ghosts are charging at you. You cannot see the ghosts. They're around you in the darkness.
I will cast Firebolt in their general direction.
All right. Go ahead and give me a roll to attack. And the ghosts or the zombies?
I accidentally double-clicked.
Nice. We'll take the first roll. I think either of them would have hit. Were you aiming for?
The zombies.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll damage. As for zombies, you've got Osborne, the Goblin, and Gaster right now, right?
Well, Osborne and the zombie, and then Gaster's the skeleton.
Well, yeah. Osborne, the
Yeah, where is? Huh. I
What?
no longer have Gaster's player sheet. What the hell? Oh, here it is.
You abused him one too many times, and he decided to commit toaster bath.
He
Apparently.
loves it.
So, as the Goblin is, his chest is carved out by a particularly potent firebolt.
Oh, well then, they're probably gonna attack.
This is going well.
This was a terrible decision.
Good first impression, guys. This is why we can't have new friends.
We should just label every YouTube episode instead of Echoes of Eberron. It's just Inune's a bad decision. Day 1, day 2, day.
How is this my fault?
I don't know.
You
It's
sent
usually your fault.
undead to go say hi to somebody.
Remember
I'm not saying
the
hi to
bank?
someone. We just got freaking annihilated by the freaking
Well, the Goblin, he also has 10 HP.
Remember the bank? Remember the bad decision of the bank?
Yeah, that wasn't a decision. I had
Got
no idea what
co-opted
that
into
was.
that, yeah. Anyways. What sort of damage can the bear do?
Oh, is it?
Basic. I think since we don't have the his character sheet, we just use the normal brown bear stats for now.
We'll do a little boost since it's
He's this Crag is the same class as Sinnoh. So he does get some nice buffs.
all right. It's a multi-attack. It is. What's the bear's name? I forget.
Kai.
Kai. Oh my god.
It's not Sir Barrington. I'm disappointed.
Oh. Just to confirm. Oh, he does. As the hobgoblins, as Osborne continues to charge in, Kai kind of bounds forward and just like tears the hobgoblin to shreds.
This is how Dova nerfs you. Right.
I've never that is almost completely max damage from the bear. As it does 26 points of damage to the hobgoblin.
Kai is my tank.
Good God.
Am I feeling these energy releases?
Yeah, you would definitely know that your zombies just got the ever-loving crap crumped out of them.
All right, well, what I want to do here? First, I'm gonna alert the room that someone is murking my zombies.
My hamster is getting antsy.
Honestly,
And point at the direction.
I don't think Sinel would be that surprised. Well, yeah, they're zombies.
We also already went through each one of these rooms, and now something is back. That's the kind of idea I'm getting. Not that zombies are fragile, that there's an enemy here, so...
No, I mean that
You're
they
probably getting
attacked...
position.
They attacked zombies. Just like we have every time we've come across zombies.
During this time, Craig, you feel something brush against your neck. Something rather sharp and claw-like. As you're very conscious of the fact that you are now surrounded by ghosts.
Crag gets ready to pull his dagger and thrash at whatever is getting close to him.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack. Go ahead and roll damage. Is that a magical? Oh, it is. All right. As you guys would all hear, a dagger being rapidly drawn from a scabbard, and then being swung. You can hear the air parting as it slices through something. As you hear the ephemeral screech of a specter recoiling. And you would probably see a very faint light from that as sort of a bluish energy sort of surges through the phantasmal body of the specter, almost like lightning, rapidly fading away. But you do get the glimpse of a almost like a wolf-like or a dog-like figure who actually drew the dagger, along with a large silhouette of some sort of other land beast, for just that brief moment.
We should probably go check that out.
Adova, did you see the influence?
Yes.
And you see the info about
We thought of that before. Let's check it out.
About the game breaking?
I haven't really looked at that in detail just yet.
All right. I won't prove it yet then.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Who was that?
That was Crag reconnecting.
Gotcha. You there?
It seems you guys returned a robot voice and then everything cuts out.
Hello?
Nice.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
that was fast.
Hello?
Yeah, hello? Is anyone there?
Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
we can hear you just fine.
Get me call.
Is it me you're looking for?
I was just thinking that.
Hello?
Oh, he's probably not in Echoes of Eberron chat.
me.
So I can't.
Just
So
DM him.
finish my tea.
There's also organized play that you could use.
That's true.
Oh, while we're here, we've got media share.
I saw that. That's some good stuff.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some more tea.
Gotcha. Is anyone throwing a fireball?
No, I think that's the cigar getting smoked out of his.
Oh,
Out of
I
the
see it.
carpet. Yeah.
And there's Yark in a pile in the
No,
corner.
in a puddle.
My poor cigar. I've lost more cigars to inanimate objects than I have animate objects.
It's fine. Smoking's a dirty habit anyway.
Oof.
It's not smoking, it's lung fogging. There's a difference.
Surf just reaches for a new cigar, and Rosalind reaches for her hammer.
All right, Anu's gonna walk
you-
after his zombies.
Okay.
Is Rosalind the intervention that Zerf needs?
Sinnoh's going along
Apparently.
as well. His bow is drawn.
I'm still carrying a giant box, so
Is Dusty here today? Because Crag would recognize Dusty.
He is, but Dusty's player is not.
He's not feeling
Alright.
himself.
Says he's asleep.
we swapped out Dusty.exe for Sleep.exe.
He's snoozing.
Yeah.
But when you would look at him, you sense a very distinct sense of deja vu as they slowly start to approach. One of the shorter members among them holding a ever bright lantern, which you would recognize. But the bat in particular, it seems like you ought to know him, but you're not sure why.
Dova, I think you're overestimating Crag's intelligence. In regards
He's
to the
from here.
lantern. Crag?
Yeah, I don't think Crag knows what the lantern is.
Oh yeah,
Crag's not from Eberron.
he doesn't know how it works.
It's a light object.
Mm-hmm. It makes light. It always makes light. Yeah. So, as the main party starts to advance, you guys are about 20 feet from them as you start to hear very faint huffing, as well as the sound of flesh being rended apart. But the light would slowly start to uncover them as it shows the knoll in a struggle with what appears to be about 3 ghosts clutching onto him with necrotic claws, and the bear seems to be suffering a bit of the same fate, though a part of the hobgoblin is currently in its maw, as it might have been in the middle of eating it.
All right. Well, Anun was about to come in hot and angry, but now he's sort of confused.
Zerf's completely
Seeing-
confused.
All of these ghosts like this, and Anun's gonna try to use his lineage to his advantage, thinking these ghosts are maybe old residents of this place, and he's gonna order them to get off of him.
Give me a charisma check.
Yeah.
Just to sort of judge your leadership appearance.
Not gonna be great. Where is this? Oh, yeah. Hey.
Ooh.
Ralston's gonna look intimidating.
You give the command. It sounds great. Volume was a little bit too low. It doesn't appear they heard you.
Ralston's gonna look very intimidating.
As you approach, are you still carrying the jukebox?
Yes, and it's still playing whatever Ray put in Noon put in.
Would it be the polka music or the loud, brash sort of symphony?
Freaking Gangplank Galleon is just blasting right now.
Gotcha.
He
Yes.
said there were horns.
The specters seem to be a little bit off-put by the spectacular noises and start to shy away, letting go of their grip. As they turn and look towards you, the attention finally gained. They look at you, Anun, and kind of give a very loud hiss before retreating back into the shadows.
I think they called you ugly.
I think so too.
Yeah, well,
Are you
they're
gonna-
dead. Haha. You! Who the hell are you? He's yelling at Crag. Or the Knoll.
I'm Crag Rotfang. I appear to be a bit lost.
Yeah, I think you're more than a bit lost. Why are you taking off my zombies?
They're your zombies.
Yes.
I just saw zombies. They were coming at me.
The bear currently has one of the hobgoblin's arms in its mouth.
Who owns a
Kinda
zombie?
crunching down on it.
The light
Lots
over
of people.
here.
Crag looks very confused
Just
at the concept
necromancers.
of owning a zombie.
Also, what are you doing here? We're on... This is like an ancient old world organization that we came here with a scholar going through. How did you just randomly stumble in here? There's like 10 of us in here.
I was somewhere else that didn't smell like this, and then I fell into something.
I don't think there's... I'm gonna call in the cleric.
Gator Man comes up.
And then that's... Anun is still pissed off, so that's... But he wants to help out, so he's gonna call the cleric and then just walk away.
Well, Siddle completely believes him.
So Crag, what is your objective?
I didn't hear that last bit.
What is your objective?
I was just looking for stuff to take back to a market. I would like to get home.
Do you know where you're at?
Not quite. I was on an island. I don't remember the name right.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure.
Where? I think it was Mirleth. Where are we now?
We're I do not know this place, Mirlith. This is whatever the continent's name is.
Corvair.
Corvair. This is
This
Corvair.
this is, and then I tell him the name of the.
This is current location in brackets.
Yeah. We're located south of nearest city.
Probably the nearest city would be. I mean, Passage is way up there on the shores of Lake Galifar, but maybe
Let me check the
Cragwar.
quest
But
marker.
that's
Where does the map say I am?
Hey,
what's the minimap?
if you keep walking, eventually you reach.
I mean, technically, Anoon has very detailed maps.
He has very detailed maps.
Has a foolproof plan sentence that could prove out any liar.
All right, let's hear it.
Do you know what a train is?
What?
So at this point, Yark, you suddenly hear Yark say, it's a no!" And he runs past and hugs the...
I try to
Yark,
grab you, but my hand goes through your... Dang.
He's not still liquid, sir. If he's solid now.
Crag gently pushes away the person hugging him, looking a bit uncomfortable.
He's gonna hug his arm that he pushes him away with and says, I used to have a no roommate. I miss him. Those are great. So
I didn't
Back
hear
in
that, I'm sorry.
college.
Oh, he says, I used to have a no roommate. They're so warm. I miss them.
Hold on, I'm getting robot voice.
Hell yeah, dude. Greetings, hello.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
The
it's
1
good
foot
that
tall...
we found this out now, so we can figure out how to fix it.
Yeah. The 1 foot tall lizard is saying that he used to have a roommate that was a gnoll, and they're super warm and cuddly, and he misses...
He like comes halfway up your ankle.
Crag looks uncomfortable and says, I don't think I've ever cuddled anyone other than my bear.
You get used to it.
I am from a traditional Null tribe.
I'd say I'm pretty sure gnolls aren't particularly cuddly unless they've been growing up inside a sea.
Oh, that would explain Yark's what's the word? Experience? Yes, Power Stone, and Dole is essentially a walking hyena.
They're a bit more shaggy than a hyena, but
Also depends on the sort of subrace to the
yeah,
where they come from.
some of them have wicked mohawks though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Crag's
it's like
from a traditional...
Sorry, Greg.
Crag's from a traditional Nullish tribe, but he got kicked out for being too small.
I'm also too small.
That's more because of the forbidden words.
I didn't say it wasn't because of a reason.
Dova, do we still need
Small,
this map?
weak Null.
What?
Do we still need this map?
No.
But yes, even if you are a small gnoll, Yark is only 1 foot tall. He is extremely tall.
Crag is small at 7 feet tall.
Well, so when you try to push him away, he just kind of holds on to your hand, which is probably about the same size as him, if you're 7 feet tall.
It's at about this point that some of you start to hear the almost chorus of very faint whispers around you. As you are still in quite a supernaturally active location.
You can just say
He's gonna
haunted.
bang on the jukebox with his fist.
Just say
These are the wrong
you're in a
voices.
you're still in a haunted.
Russell is just gonna loudly exclaim, "Can you lot be quiet? I'm trying to listen."
Actually quiets down for a few seconds.
I give her the approving look.
Anyway, can we get going? This thing is heavy, you know.
You have been holding it up this entire time. And we lost Craig again. So, as you continue your conversation on the move, Yark,
Yes.
during the walk, you actually notice that there seems to be something, the very faint edge of something sticking out of a crack in the wall. As you get a little bit closer, you see that it's a brim of a large, sort of floppy hat.
I pull on it.
All right, give me a strength check.
Oh God.
If you were larger, you wouldn't have to roll, but you're a little bit small.
Hey, that's a big number.
All right,
me.
that is enough.
I
As
do
you,
the cartoon tumble backwards as I pull.
Gotcha. As you pull out a rather large, and by large, it's not terribly gigantic, but it looks like it was designed to fit on a normal humanoid head. A floppy, pointy-topped wizard's cap. It's a little bit dusty and grimy, but otherwise it is in pristine shape. As you're sort of walking along and investigating it in the light, you see a very long, about a 1.5 foot long, slightly glowing silver hair inside.
This has got to be a wizard's hat.
Has to be.
I'm gonna put it on my tiny head.
All right. You can feel a very slight bit of magic from the strand of hair.
Doesn't the entire hat like engulf him?
Yeah, it's gigantic.
The hat is essentially sitting on the floor, and then the entire hat turns toward Inun and says, "How do I?"
It's like a Roomba.
It says, "How do I look?" Like the whole hat rotates to face Inun.
He's gonna roll his eyes and look a different direction.
It looks good, right? It's gotta look good on me.
It's very
That's great.
fitting.
Don't change a thing.
Yes.
You basically have to just guess where you're going.
I walk in a direction.
All right, you run into a wall.
I pick another direction.
All right, you eventually figure out which way to kind of go and sort of use your hearing to figure out which way everyone's going.
Awesome.
Zerk's trying his
My
best not
hamster
to
is
laugh.
getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
Oh, it just keeps going.
Yep.
All right, but as the light starts to hit the that large ceiling height door, it appears to be sealed at this point. And this side of the door is almost completely featureless, aside from a faint seam running from the ground to the ceiling, right in the middle.
All right. It looks like Crag's gonna drop out and try and get their internet fixed for next week, but probably another cameo next week since we've already really set it up already.
Gotcha. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Yep. This door is
Also,
locked,
did you
right?
see the influence, Dova?
I did.
Okay.
I'm gonna deny that one. Unless he's alright with it going into effect only when he's wearing it. But yes, the interior of the door, you remember it to swing inwards. Or sorry, it would have swung outwards.
I'm gonna push on it.
All right.
One
It
foot
is. Give me a strength check.
Nova.
Yeah.
Anoon's gonna walk up and say, "The city is sunset" in Elvish.
All right. Zerth, you are putting your entire body weight into it, just huffing and puffing, and your claws kind of digging into the ground. Anoon kind of walks up to it, mutters something in Elvish, and it just falls forward as you kind of stumble a bit.
What are
I
you doing, man?
loosened
The
it
door's
up
open.
for
Come on.
you. See, I just imagine he falls face first through it, and
Pretty
everybody
much.
just walks over him.
Yark even steps on top of him and walks over.
It's just a little like hopping hat.
Rosalind just like walks up, grabs the tip of his tail, doesn't even grab his hand, grabs the tip of his Surf's tail, then just walks, and you slowly see the tail bend around him, and then he just turns and starts getting dragged along.
I guess
Awesome.
This is what love is. His drags across the room.
I'd say Zerth is probably the last one, except for Crag, and as Crag starts to walk through the sort of the threshold, it almost seems like he hits an invisible wall, walks through it, and as he does so, disappears.
Uh,
You didn't see
Maybe
out of a
ghost
Yark. You're in a hat.
what's happening?
Zerth would have probably been the only one to see that since he's being dragged.
Facing
he's
back. Yeah.
Yeah, he's being dragged facing backwards.
Yeah.
I'm literally just imagining like one of those flat out alligators. It's like just lying completely flat, just being dragged along the floor.
All right. So wait, Rosalind, you're carrying the jukebox as well as dragging him?
Yeah, it can drag up to 600 pounds.
I want a dexterity check just to balance all this.
Sure.
Because I think it would be funny.
Dova, clearly, she wrapped her tail around his tail and is pulling that. Come on,
That's
man.
true. Okay, you can manage it.
Well, I got a 16 anyway, so that's gonna count for something.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I see the
you
door
can.
close behind us.
The door swings closes as all of you guys kind of come through.
I'm impressed by Rosalind's ability to micromanage all this stuff.
But now
It's
there
'cause-
is the
it's 'cause
spiral
I'm a woman.
staircase.
The spiral staircase leading up, just drag him upwards. These headbangs on every stair.
I will definitely need an actual like serious DC strength check to do that.
I know.
I'm gonna. It is still underneath the hat. I'm gonna hop on Desert's head and say, "Are you okay?"
Strangely, I'm okay with this. I think I may have had a concussion from the last fight. I am not too sure.
It looks like Zerth is wearing the hat.
A
While
large
I'm
sort
r-
of wizard hat.
While I'm riding on him, I want to examine the little hair or the strand of.
As you're looking at it and examining it, it appears to be very, very tough. Just tensile strength wise. It appears to be just a little too short for use in like a crossbow or most things that you can really think of. But it is extraordinarily strong.
Piano wire.
Basically.
How long is it?
It's about, I'd say about 10 inches.
That's quite long.
As far as your sort of knowledge of mechanical devices, it's a little too short to be used as a crossbow string. Just the manner of fashioning it and having an actual usable draw weight at the same time needs to be just a little bit longer.
And is it like magical other than its strength?
Very faintly magical, yes. As far as you're aware, it is unbreakable.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to use it to, like, you know how I have my folding boat and my alchemy jug strapped to my back?
Yeah.
I'm going to use that as the quote-unquote rope. Because it'd be a lot stronger. And because of how small I am, about the same.
All right. Sure, you can use it to sort of keep those things tied together.
And maybe it'll bring luck. I already like the hat.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of shiny. The hair is, at least. All right, so
honey, are you gonna get up, or am I gonna drag you the whole way home?
He just gives a wide grin as he gets up. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but timing. Oh, also the door shut behind us, so pretty sure it's locked now.
I can unlock it.
Yeah, apparently, Indian just happens to be our magical nine-tailed king.
Three-tailed.
Three-tailed.
As usual.
Thought you were
He's
four-tailed.
always.
Huh?
You have tails?
You look away for 1 second, and he either sprouts or loses.
I guess we'll start heading up the stairs.
Yeah.
all right. It takes the better part of about 15 to 20 minutes. By the end of which you are all kind of huffing and puffing.
Man, these stairs are super tough, aren't they?
Probably Yark isn't.
I'm gonna flick Yark off Zer's head.
I'm gonna use the hat as a parachute.
Works a little bit like that. It slows you down enough so you don't like break anything, but you still kind of tumble a bit, but no injuries. As you start to step out into the very bright sunlight, and you're still in that kind of frozen cave behind the waterfall right now. You're not even in direct sunlight, and your eyes are just burning.
My hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let
Good
us
God,
adventure.
Jaffer. You just keep sending them.
I mean, the first one didn't work, so I guess he had to do a new one.
I guess so.
He's relentless.
Yark's gonna grab the hat and say, "I wish this hat fit me a little."
As a minor influence, I'll
I'm not
accept that
sure.
on a.
Yeah,
I'd say
that's what I was
I've got my
thinking.
own. I've got my own ideas as far as that goes.
I mean, as the
And
player,
I'll
I'm
accept
going to
it as
deny
that.
it.
Yeah,
What are you
that's kind
accepting
of-
it as?
Because I really, really wish I just want to play D&D, you know?
That's fair enough.
I don't want to be in a cartoon.
That's fair.
point.
I'll go ahead and deny it on those grounds then. So you are now back outside. The sky is clear blue. The sun is shining down quite intensely. You guys are up at fairly high altitudes, so the air is very thin and dry, and but the effect of the sun is quite a nice relief after being in kind of the deep and dark for so long.
Well, that place was intriguing.
Good thing I have this hat. I'd be blind otherwise.
Rosalind, your legs are just burning from that staircase.
It's a good burn, though.
I will offer her in like as much kindness as I can muster if she needs help carrying that.
Nope, I'm fine. I'm just Russell is just about stubborn enough to just say she's fine.
I'm gonna take her at her word, but keep her at like a side glance.
Gotcha.
He knows better than to argue.
As you guys finally make it back to the carriage that's kind of parked on a nice little clearing on top of this sort of plateau. The sole dead tree is still right there, and the sort of rocky ground littered with a few bits of remnants of the horses' feed sacks, as they are very thoroughly empty at this point. But Aryabor starts to load his stuff into the wagon, keeping his bag on him at all times.
Oh yeah, this is where we
Yeah.
found that goat skull.
Mm-hmm. I think it was it was a goat skull.
Yeah,
It was very well bleached from the
because
exposure to the dry sun.
I have it in my backpack because I wanted Yark or somebody in town to affix it to the dread. Nice
Right, I
power
remember
stone.
that. I remember.
New art, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that.
it looks like Dumbledore's original hat, as drawn on the original Harry Potter books cover art
Perfect.
For the movies.
Yeah, before the movies, so they changed the art style.
He's so happy. He's so pleased with himself. I love it. It's perfect.
Sorry, I had to reach over my room and get my water.
I'm gonna look to the researcher. Was that the only thing you needed?
That it was.
Mm.
I'm gonna quickly hop on top of his head so he's wearing the hat and say, "So what'd you think? Did you have fun?"
Well, I don't suppose I really had a tremendous amount of fun. All in all, that was not very fun. But I got what I set out to get. And you all came out of this, I assume, quite a bit richer. I didn't see the exact details on all those banknotes you were looking through.
I got a lot of things that I didn't expect to get.
In a good way,
I'm
I
a-
assume.
I mean, the whole slime thing—that's new. I don't know how to feel about that, but I'm so far.
I definitely am noticing that my scalp is feeling wet. And I was going to question exactly what that was. Good to know that it's different from what I was expecting, and not necessarily a good way. Please get off my head.
Oh, sorry, and then hops down.
Thank you.
I see.
I'm gonna load the jukebox into the carriage.
All right. It kind of creaks and groans as you place it in. It's currently playing music.
Well, Anu never turned it off. Rosalind doesn't know how to turn it off.
Yeah, it's probably still playing.
Okay.
Yeah, the crystal's still in there.
What was that song that was playing last?
This is the song that never ends.
No, it was a song I really liked, but I forgot what.
It was the horns. I made a joke. It was Gangplank Galleon.
Yes, Game Guardian. Perfect.
I don't actually know what that song is, so I'm gonna have to look it up.
That's King
The-
K. Rool's theme.
The Smash remix, not the original.
Gotcha.
I'll post.
Here. Yeah, I was about to.
All right, well, we'll go for that. As
Wait.
as the horses get hitched up, the wagon starts to trundle its way down the winding mountain pass back towards civilization. And yeah, you guys make it to the bottom of the mountains before nightfall, and manage to get back on the main road just in time to find a place to camp.
Hoping it's not
I
playing
think I
too
shared.
loud.
Very good.
Is it playing too loud for you guys?
Volume's pretty decent right now.
Okay.
I think it's good.
A little bit loud.
It got to a louder part of the phone.
Has that been playing that entire song this entire time?
Yes, and I'm totally happy with it.
Sir finds himself humming to it, and he hates himself. He hates himself greatly.
So, as you guys start to settle down for the night, I will need a watch schedule. I assume you're going to be breaking out the arcane tent.
Yes.
Sinnoh will
All
take first watch.
All right, need a second watch and a third watch.
I'll
I
take
didn't
third.
think last.
Or I'll
And-
take second then.
All right.
Sinnoh
can
will
take
set
which-
out his cordon of arrows again.
All right.
I can take whichever watch needs the longest because I need the least hyperactive. So
Gotcha.
probably gonna be the
So it
middle
was-
watch, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Who was on the last watch?
I am.
You'd be the one to see this sort of approaching in the very, very early morning, just as the sun's starting to come up. You start to see a
How long
fairly
was the
large.
shift?
What?
How long was the shift?
About 4 hours.
Because Anun was wanting to listen to that other crystal from the envelope
Sure.
while everyone was asleep.
There's a handful of small kind of controls on the front. You can turn the volume down as well.
Okay.
I like how the music is quiet and slowly trails off until that like beginning part where it just gets super, super loud.
Yes, that is one of the best parts of this whole game, of this whole song.
Here, could you turn the music off for a sec? Thank you. So, as you kind of reopen the envelope, you tore it open before, but you kind of just reclosed it. You swap out the crystal, the jukebox sitting kind of on its back inside the back of a cart.
I
It
got
still kind of
sad-
grabs onto it just fine.
I got sad music I could play if you want.
Nope, I don't need it.
Okay.
As it sort of grabs onto the crystal and starts to read through it, it actually sort of spins very slightly in the like malleable metal grip. As you hear kind of the crackly single voice, same voice of the from the one previous, the one belonging to the Magos Sagittarius. As it says, I don't know if you'll ever get this, but I certainly hope that you do. My greatest triumph, my greatest success, and yet at the same time, failure in its own way, as I will unfortunately never get to meet you. With the gifts that I've given you, and maybe they might also be a curse depending on how you turn out to be. I certainly hope that you'll be able to find your way out there in the unknown. For all of this, all of this work, all of my effort, all of the sacrifices that I've made have led up to one thing, and that is perhaps leaving a predecessor worthy of the title. Is predecessor the right word? Sorry, I might misplace my words. Everything has kind of turned topsy-turvy in the short term, but when you wake up from your long rest, I only hope that you won't hate me for what I've done, for bringing you into this world. As I know most parents have that guilt associated with that, but nevertheless, my son, Inun, I hope you do well. Perhaps we might meet, but knowing the cruelty of the world that I brought you into, that probably won't be the case. I love you. It cuts off.
Anun's gonna have been kind of nodding along to it, just trying to comprehend every word that he's hearing, and he's pretty distraught. Not sure how to take all of this because it's all new information to him. Sort of a very strange outcome that he wasn't expecting. He's gonna take the crystal out and keep it on his person.
Okay. You can find a pocket that's like kind of near your breast that you can fit it in.
Taking damn good care of that thing.
Yark's gonna give him a hug as best he can at the.
You were asleep.
Yep.
It was just a new.
Oh, heck! Oh,
Yeah.
I was asleep.
Also, it was in Elvish. Sorry.
Oh, never mind then. I'm asleep and I can't understand at the same.
All right. So,
All right,
early in the morning. Sorry?
You're getting to it.
Gotcha. Early in the morning, about an hour after you finish listening to that, you feel or you hear and almost feel the steady clomp of boots as they slowly kind of round the bend. A formation of Brellish soldiers marching down the road towards Cragwar to the north. None of them seem to harry you. A handful of them kind of look over and just kind of see, who the travelers at the side of the road are, but they just kind of continue past. All in all, you count maybe 300 to 400 as they pass by, roughly 4 wide on the road. But they're followed by a procession of various carriages carrying supplies, as well as a handful of siege weapons, catapults and ballistae.
Yeah, Nunes has his head poked out looking, and he's going to put a hand on Gaster's skull and push it down because he's also looking with him.
His head sort of slowly peeks out of the bag of bones before he just push it back in.
Shove it right back in.
I'll assume that you brought the goblin and the hobgoblin back.
I brought Osborne back. I don't care about the hobgoblin.
You care about the goblin?
The goblin, yeah.
Gotcha.
Besides, I can only res 2 at a time, so.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to kind of, I don't know, calmly. He's not like in a rush, but he's just gonna let the other people know that there's a convoy headed through.
Mm-hmm. As the breadth of them start to make their way through, some of you start to wake up just from the noise. but it's a little bit early.
Rosalind's already awake. Like,
As soon as like the first column came, you were just wide awake.
both her instincts as a barbarian and also because she's requires so little sleep as a squirrel.
Mhm.
But she kind of just looks and recognizes the formation. Because even if it's a different plane, Rosalind was a former soldier herself. So
Yeah, you would definitely recognize it as.
yeah, I actually have the military rank background.
Mhm. I guess from their formation, you would probably see that they're getting close to the front lines, or whether they're expecting battle, but they're still very firmly in that travel mindset. A lot of their gear is still stowed. They're all carrying very heavy packs, not too prepared for any sort of ambushes.
What's their demeanor?
They seem fairly calm. They're very quiet. I suppose you two would know sort of exactly the mood that they have. Their demeanor seems to be the calm before the storm. They know that they're about to enter a fight relatively soon, so they're just sort of silently walking along, trying to enjoy the calm before it ends.
I'm gonna attempt to flag one of them down, like a scout or a messenger or something.
One of the envoys. What I don't believe you would recognize exactly what rank they are. Zerth would probably recognize them as being like a ranger, or like basically a scout, someone to look ahead, someone to get information from villages. As they as their horse kind of trots up, the fairly rough and tumble looking human on the back kind of looks over and says, "Aye."
Just a friendly warning. If you're traveling up north and camping around the mountains, there were quite a lot of ghosts in the area.
Normal ghosts. Nothing.
I
Kind
think
of
so.
the garden variety, as far as you're aware.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just saying in case it hampers your.
He starts to kind of mull over that information.
It's the enemy that you don't see that does those in.
He kind of gives a nod and says, "Well, thank you very much. I'm afraid I'm not really authorized to give out any rewards for stuff like that, but
I wasn't expecting any. It's just that we just came down from the mountains, and I thought you'd want to know.
I don't suppose you saw any clear routes through the mountains at the moment, did you?"
I'm trying to recall if I did.
Character-wise, you did not. You were on that very thin sort of mountain pass that basically only led up to that little plateau with the waterfall on it. As far as everything else goes, it was fairly impassable.
Afraid not. We only climbed up as far as a thin pass, and it was sort of off the beaten path, if you know what I mean.
I suppose I do know what you mean, but thank you very much, and just stay safe. I think it's going to get a little bit rough in the coming days.
Mm-mm.
As he gives a nod and starts to ride off.
I give him a sad look.
Give me an insight check.
Insights.
You can sense that he's definitely trying to hide his emotions. Not sure exactly what emotion he's trying to hide, but you can tell that it's definitely a mask he's putting up. as he
booey!
rides off.
I light a cigar as I watch him,
All right.
knowing
Hi, Bowie.
Zerth knows that no matter what he says or does, it's not going to stop them.
Sounds like it sounds like if they were not expecting stuff to attack them at night, it would really hamper with them if they're in that low spirit right now.
Though those going to battle never, their head should always be on a swivel, so to speak.
Well, we've done all we can for them. Let's pack up our things and leave before we get embroiled in some kind of regional conflict.
I will fight for the chair part 2. He
So-
will say that till the day he dies, Dova. And you can't persuade me otherwise.
So, you pack up all your things and start to head out. It takes about, I think this is about 3 days to get back to Hatheril.
You know,
at
I'm
the
really
end of the first day,
I'm really curious
check
about
the
Dragon's
calendar.
Crown.
Ooh. So this first night goes completely uneventfully. As you camp down, tired from a full day of traveling, Zerth and Rosalind had to get out multiple times to push the cart through. There's a patch of a little bit of snow that kind of came down. It melted fairly quickly, but the roads were completely muddied, and you had to get out and push the cart for a little while.
And likely probably indented from all of the soldiers marching through.
It's just a mire. As the forests give way to rolling plains of the interior. On the first night that you've stopped, or the second night. So you've been on the road for a total of 2 days so far. 3 days. But tonight is technically the last day of the year. And I'm trying to remember the name of the holiday.
A big, huge celebration of the end of the year.
Technically,
very
it's
loud.
it's a lot less than that.
I cannot remember the name.
I think it's the long night.
I think it is.
See, it's past.
There's no new deer
Is that-
celebration.
It's a little bit different. I'm trying to find the exact entry I was looking for.
What's the day's name?
Let me see. The Long Shadows, that's what it was. Usually the what everyone does on the Night of Long Shadows is they stay inside their homes. Most of the New Year's celebrations happen the following day. Once the sun fully rises.
I'm enjoying this day.
As night starts to fall, the air feels particularly cold. You've seen remarkably few travelers on the road during this stretch. And as you bed down for the night, you set up your cordon of arrows. And everyone sort of starts to feel uneasy as they slip into a fairly chilly sleep, even though enhanced by the arcane tent sort of the warmth inside. What's the watch schedule look like?
I will probably take the second. This is the night of the holiday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably not getting a lot of sleep. He's probably just going to stay up for most of the night.
All right. You'll probably end up with 1 point of exhaustion tomorrow then.
He's willing to take it.
Gotcha.
He probably won't sleep.
And he's
Alright.
going to take third watch, and he's going to listen to the recording again.
All right. Zerth would probably hear that as well. Do you understand Elvish?
No, I don't think I do. I think Elvish is one of mine. Nope.
All right. What's the volume that you would listen to it at?
Just low. He kind of has his back against the machine.
Okay.
Leaning against it.
The night is fairly uneventful up until just after that point. But you put the recording in the machine, just kind of sit there and listen to his voice again. But every little detail in the recording is preserved. Little pauses and stutters. Zerth, you don't understand a word of it, but you kind of see how Inun's very intent listening to it. His eyes kind of not really glazed over, but definitely very deep in thought. And as you're kind of enraptured in that, you're kind of thrown off at the very last second as there's this little blip of kind of fuzziness as it trails off at the end. Can I get a perception check from both of you?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. I am too interested in Dad, Magos.
Zerth.
Yes.
Off in the distance, you see a very faint, sort of pale blue light in the field. Looking over to it with the aid of your eye, you see that it's a single ghostly soldier. Spear in one hand, kind of using it for support as they shamble across the vast open field, just kind of generally towards the east.
Mm.
Then after a moment, you see another, and another, and slowly, almost all around you, a silent spectral army raises from the ground. And without any sort of sound or direction, start to make their march eastwards towards Hathril, and in the very far distance, Kyrie.
Mm.
This is very close to midnight, and it's about the time when one of them almost walks directly through the camp, completely unnoticing of you all, that Inun would notice. You can hear a very faint crunch beneath their feet as they step on dead grass, but otherwise they're completely silent. They're sort of a motionless visage, staring forward.
His ears are going to turn towards the footsteps, which is odd because then these are corporeal. How many am I seeing?
In your immediate area, about 10.
And
But the nearest
there's a
ones
note
walking
here.
through the camp right now, the ones a little further away are at least 30 feet. The nearest one.
Oh, okay, if they're walking through camp, then he's gonna stay still.
Zerth, give me a history check.
Oof.
Not these ones.
Mm.
The uniform, yes.
Okay. I take a long drag of my cigar and just watch the parade of fallen soldiers repeat what is probably their only existence they know from now until eternity.
And
Just in
completely
like
silently.
and silently, it just kind of takes it all in.
All right. But in your immediate area, there's about 10 of them. The closest of which is 30 feet away, and then that one that just walked through the camp.
Okay.
But in the fields around, past that, there's hundreds, perhaps even thousands. All of them this very faint, bluish white, not necessarily a glow, but more like a translucent outline.
The one just walked through the camp and paid us no mind.
Yeah.
It's do I notice that Inun is awake?
Yeah. You would have heard him listening to the recording.
Mm. I would just softly mention it's like visions of the past repeat themselves, and I fear that the future generations will be part of that in no time.
Anu's gonna nod. Do you know why, if they're spirits, then how are they? Why is their footsteps so loud?
Great emotions from the past can affect the present day.
Anything that could be done for them?
Can I roll a religion check?
Yeah.
Oh,
With
that was
advantage, because it specifically is. Actually, were you death domain, or were you?
Grave cleric, right?
no, I'm not.
Nice. Okay, then
Oh.
never mind.
It was
Zeal.
It was zeal.
Was it seal? Okay.
I saw it almost go to a 20, and then it rolled over to the 2. Certain things just become parts of nature. This is one such an example. Great tragedy leaves the imprints on these worlds like a footstep. We merely just came across it.
Anu's gonna watch quietly, kind of out of respect, kind of out of interest, just see what's happening.
You're
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
you're seeing Rosalind's future here.
Do these ghosts like music?
he gives a like a soft smile. I wouldn't see why not.
Oh, I guess. I will put on track 8, kind of quietly.
All right.
We need Flight of the Valkyries.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I'm
as a very
pretty sure
slow
all
sort of-
renditions of it are copyrighted by someone.
I wasn't meaning to actually play it. I was talking about the
As out from the jukebox, a very slow, almost like a lullaby starts to kind of ooze its way out. Eventually, as it continues and picks up a little bit of pace, but overall, it's still a very slow, sort of melody. Eventually, turning into an actual lullaby when a vocal accompaniment starts to pitch in, and you can recognize some of the words, but it's common, with such a sort of old style to it that it's
Oh, it's
basically a
Old
different
Elvish.
language. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's in Old Elvish. Okay, I forgot which ones were in Common and which ones were in Elvish. Yeah, you would be the only one who could understand a little bit of it.
Rhythm's nice though.
Yeah, it sounds very nice. You don't see any of them outwardly respond to it, but in some way you can't help but feel that you've helped a little bit.
Okay. They'll feel a little better. Because while Anun has absolutely no problem dicking around with corpses, that sounded terrible. He doesn't necessarily like enslaving an actual soul. He just makes a fake copy of one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why Zerk doesn't like undead kind of things, because it's enslavement of the souls when they should be the rest.
Well, it's not. What Anun does is he uses magic to create a copy or like a fake version of a soul that just powers the body.
Yeah,
It doesn't actually do anything to.
Zerf knows that. He was just talking about like in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why waste a good body? The spirit isn't using it anymore. My logic is flawless, and you know it.
Mm-hmm. So,
But yeah, the reason why I joked about you seeing Rosalind's future is the class archetype for Path of the Salad does say that her soul is marked for endless. So technically, at some point in the future, that might be her.
Well, we just gotta burn some witches' heads, right?
as the night eventually passes, the sort of appearance of those spectral soldiers slowly kind of disappearing off in the distance, until none around you remain as the sun slowly starts to come up on a new year. It is now the 1st of Zarentir in the year 999. And this is this is about the time when concerns about Y1K start to exist. A lot of spells you see weren't really written to exist with 3 digits in the year.
The circumstances.
Sorry,
are
4 digits in the year.
Our spell's gonna download a virus.
Oh, it's
Go to
998.
999.
Opponents expire. You
Oh.
won't be able to use them.
My hamster is getting antsy. If we be
There we
adventurers,
go.
let us
There you go.
adventure.
Just had to go into the system settings and change the date.
Yep. But
Gonna get the millennium.
as you all slowly start to wake up, could I get a
Did you see the
perception check from
influences?
everybody?
Dova?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Boom.
Oh, that was what? Why is that for Gaster?
It's shown up as Inune for me.
Oh, Anun's dice changed colors. That's odd.
Oh yeah, I think that usually happens. Or that happened to me because I had more than one character in the Saturday game.
It usually changes depending on who's.
You have to click on the
Semi-colors.
color, or you have to click on the icon in the top to determine which one's which.
Oh, okay. I thought I just had to activate the whatever the most recent player sheet I was handling.
Remember to hydrate, boys.
Gaster's is green.
So,
do I find the Ark of the Covenant or something?
well,
Natural 20.
in the morning, everyone would slowly start to realize that there's a handful of footprints in a sort of radius around the camp. Inun and Zerth, you'd have a pretty good idea of what those footprints were from, but they're basically very faint indentations in the dirt where they look kind of dried up and cracked, as well as patches of dead grass in the shape of footprints.
Okay. I was wondering if that was coming.
But only in a roughly about a 50-foot radius from the center of the camp. After that, you can't find any hints of those same sort of dead grass footprints.
Just the one in our vicinity?
Yeah, just the ones in your vicinity. But in one of them, can I get a D2 roll from either Sinil or Rosalind? Can you roll custom dice?
No, but for
D2.
D2, we usually just, 1 and 2 is 1, and 3 and 4 is 2.
Well, you said or, didn't you? So, Sinil's...
Actually, you know what? Evens or odds? Rosalind, choose even or odd.
Odds.
Odd? So
Yep.
Sinil. In one of the footprints in the grass, you see a very faint, or you see kind of just the tip of a some sort of crystal coming out from the ground. In one of these footprints in the grass. It almost seems as though the grass itself is kind of coagulated just at the almost like the arch of the foot into this very tip of a smoky sort of gray crystal.
Do I recognize it?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Is it this one? There's one of these books in specific that I have to look at.
Oh, is this
Okay,
an
so this
actual
one.
item?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember if... Okay, it does not.
It's not one of those fake items Stova makes up. It's a real one.
It is a real one.
The real fake item. in
Real-
Dungeons and Dragons.
Real life, actual item.
It's really written there in the book.
It's really here. Funny enough, it's not in the...
We can afford real items on the budget now.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Is it Cerberus? Roll 44 for me. All right.
I have to be making fun of Dova
So-
for his paper fumbling. We love him. Look past it most of the time.
As you get closer, you kind of bend down, reach down, and start to pull it free of the ground. As in your hand is a small kind of smoky crystal that you think that this might be. It's kind of half and half, and you're hoping it's one over the other, but you think it either might be just a piece of mundane smoky quartz, or it might be a Cerberus dragon shard, one of the more valuable types.
He will immediately pocket it before anybody else can notice.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Namely, Dusty. Oof.
Dusty probably wouldn't be awake by now.
Dusty's not here.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True.
I was the only one that was like on a close perception with him.
I'd say you
Yeah.
would have seen it, Rosalind. You'd been the only one kind of actively looking around the footprints. You probably saw a little glint in the dirt just after him.
Do I notice Safinar having noticed it, or Rosalind having noticed it?
Unless you're trying to hide the fact that you're kind of looking over at him.
I'm not trying to hide that much. No.
Okay, then yeah, you would have. You guys would have kind of met eyes as you pocket it.
He will make kind of a motion of keep quiet.
Rosalind's just gonna shrug and go find a pot of stew or something for breakfast.
He mostly just doesn't want, Dusty to find out about it. He'll bring it up probably with a noon later. But for now, he's got it in his pocket.
Whatever got in my pockets?
What's in the pocket?
But yeah, now's to the age-old tradition of mystery stew or bean.
What are you making, Yark?
It depends. What kind of meat were people able to scrounge?
Probably able to find. Well, I mean, there's of course the dried meat and dried fish in your pack. But I'd say that during the walk yesterday, Sinel was able to source 2 rabbits. Just kind of scrounging while you all were kind of taking a break.
Did you ever hand over those cave mushrooms to Yark, Zerf?
I think I did.
You remember when we went to the area of the pit that was the sort of storage area, and Dova said there was mushrooms growing everywhere? We're like,
yeah, I think I did because I don't have them in my inventory.
I don't.
He might have already cooked them up and ate them.
That's entirely possible. I don't see him in my bag.
They were perfectly edible, so we'll assume that you went through those on like the first night, as they were starting to smell a little bit funny. But other than a very slight warm sensation that you felt for a little longer than would be normal for a nice hot stew, no real side effects. Delicious, though.
So, with the rabbit and my various spices and a few things from our rations, just do a nice rabbit stew. Like with rabbits, you can't really. There's not a whole lot of meat, so stew is usually the best option to make use of that small amount of meat.
Gotcha.
And then there's, slices of tough bread and a few dried meats to
kind of soak it up with.
Yeah, something to contrast the stewy nature.
Gotcha.
With a little more bite to it.
But as that is vacuumed up by the rather ravenous traveling party, you set off again. And I've went ahead and added the item to Sinel's pack. So you make it about halfway on this main road. The travel pace picked up quite a bit as the night passes. Very uneventfully. You don't have any sort of paranormal occurrence. And is anyone wanting to do anything special over the day?
Oh, I do actually. So, you know that little oven I've been working on that makes desserts?
Mhm.
I'm gonna see if I can kind of overload it to make something big today for the new deer spe-
Gotcha.
Usually, the house that he lives with at least does some kind of big dessert, if not a big party, on this day of the year.
Gotcha. Go ahead and give me a.
Oh, does anyone have a dragon chart I can jam into this?
Anun has some small dragon shards.
Alright, I'll use a small dragon chart to help with that.
All right. Is it listed in bulk in your
What's that?
inventory? Is the are the dragon shards listed as bulk in your inventory or individually?
It's just listed as small dragon shards.
Gotcha. I'd say remove maybe half a pound.
Okay.
Actually, a little bit less, probably a quarter of a pound.
Can I just would you mind offering up just one full pound, and I'll use the leftovers to help like continue work on this project?
Anun doesn't have any use for these, right?
You can use them as a replacement for any material components.
Okay.
How many of those do you have that I can consume the components though?
Give me a second. Dova, can you see what it is in my list? I'm able.
Oh, sure.
I have some dragon shard powder still.
Let me see.
Dragon shard powder can probably help make the whatever dessert comes out of it, but dragon shard can probably help with the stability of the item itself for long-term usage.
It looks to be 1 pound total.
Yeah, okay, I'll just give that to him.
Okay. Go ahead and
Alright,
add 1 pound of small dragon shards in your inventory, Yark. Sorry?
I said,
Yeah.
all right, awesome.
Gotcha.
I can't believe I had my dad's entire record collection.
Notice how music is spelled with the CK?
I enjoy that.
It makes it special.
It does. And then you changed it. The second one isn't as special.
What did I change it to?
It's just music spelled normally.
Where? Oh, I did. There we go. This is specifically not music. This is music.
Okay.
It's a trademark.
Also, I have to do something about my inventory because I think I'm over encumbered.
You have a bag of holding, don't you? You have like 2 bags of holding.
I have 1 bag of holding, but that's
No,
the bag of bones. Oh, I
You got another one.
I have the meta bag. It's the it's essentially the wormhole. Remember, I can reach through my robe and my hand comes out of the bag.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have space, right? It just goes to one pocket to the other.
Pretty much. It's just all the pockets kind of link into the bag of holding.
Yeah, I just have. Oh, okay. All right, never mind then.
Mhm.
That works.
I
Or I
think
guess since
that's how it worked out.
Since it was using the meta runes, I guess you can just say that it goes into like the tent, maybe.
The tent has to be deployed though.
Okay.
I'd say if in the past I think we figured that it would just link into your normal bag, but I'd say you've reached the point where you can link it to the bag of holding.
Okay, cool. I'll share that space, but it still, I guess, separates the zombies from the items.
Mm. Also, you actually have 2 bags of holding.
Do I?
Yeah, you have 1 bag for the bones.
I have my bag of bones. I didn't know I had another one.
Yeah, look way on the bottom.
Do I have a
We're
bag of
in
bones?
yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
You have 2 bags
Okay.
holding.
Okay, we'll go with that. I don't know where I got that
They're
one
real
from.
common here. I'm telling you. It just makes it simple.
I mean, yeah,
Maybe.
Yark could practically build small bags of holding in a day.
Mhm. And I built kind of a bag of holding.
Yeah. But as the day starts, what was your Yark? Finally, let's get a Arcana and a cooking roll.
Okay, cool.
Arcana is to actually make the thing, and cooking is the
Nice.
quality.
It took me a moment to realize that cooking begins with a C, not a K, and I was wondering why I couldn't.
You're thinking about music with a K.
Nice, good rolls.
And what you were making a flan, right?
No. Remember this device just pops out something sweet,
Gotcha.
and now I'm just making something bigger rather than something.
Yeah, he's not making flan, he's making flan.
So, as Sinel and DeSoda, you have a very fortuitous hunt. Sinel, you have a bit of issue tracking stuff down, but DeSoda's doing such a good job that I'd say you would probably end up. I'd say you'd manage to bag a turkey. Full on, nicely sized tom.
Cool.
As you kind of start dragging him back, he's fairly heavy. You're greeted to the sight of, as you're getting closer, you can feel a very slight rumbling into the ground.
Uh-oh.
But within eyesight, you see that the little makeshift oven has been kind of pushed out of. It's like at least 20 feet away from the wagon that everyone's kind of cowering behind.
Sinel's gonna draw his
it has been cooking and ominously rumbling for the past like 15 minutes. But you guys are all kind of hiding.
Relax, guys. It's still got a bunch of time left. I get to get this.
Can I ritual cast something?
Sure. What is it?
I want to ritual cast commune.
Are you sure you'll be able to make it through that full ritual time, though? It could go off any second now.
I like to live dangerously.
Well, Yark, you can't see the timer from this side.
I am a cook, Dova. I don't need a timer. The timer's just for show.
Give me an intelligence check. Actually, insight.
I don't need a timer.
no.
Everything he cooks is burnt.
I like that. I like the first word better.
No. With insight. This is just going by gut to count time.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, you've got about 5 minutes left.
I can cook a turkey in 5 minutes. The main course has to be ready before the. I flex my gauntlet and it catches fire.
Even you are not hasty enough to cook a turkey very, very fast.
It's frozen. Pop
That
it in
can
the
only
fryer
lead.
for 5.
That could only lead to dry turkey.
Which is absolutely awful.
Unacceptable, frankly.
Dova, it's for this reason exactly that I think chronomages will make the best cooks. Do you know how helpful time manipulation would be in a?
It'd be very good.
It
Exactly.
seems like it's gonna cause a problem. You're gonna cause a freaking disturbance of the space-time continuum because your cake didn't come out right.
There's a particularly lively rumble that passes through the ground before it resumes its normal kind of quivering.
I'm gonna pray to my goddess to see if this is gonna be safe, or we're gonna have to run a 5-mile radius.
Fury just responds, "Holy God!"
Well, that's not good.
I'd like to cast a 10th level spell. Smash.
You're actually gonna go for it?
I'm weighing my options.
I can ritual cast deviation too.
About 2.5 minutes later, the rumbling stops, and in the quiet, you can hear a very faint ding.
No, it has to have one of those really obnoxious egg timer like sound.
Oh, it just keeps ringing.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, Yark. Sorry, Yark. I know it's your oven, but it's too fitting for the setting.
As the like little rotary bell keeps ringing.
All right, I open it up.
Can you give me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, I put on an oven mitt and then an enormous oven mitt over my giant gauntlet.
You have 2 different size oven mitts.
Of course. You said a dex saving throw, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that seems about right. In Yark's mind, everything is going exactly how he planned it.
Yeah, I mean, it smells amazing as you get close to it. As you kind of get close to it, very calmly put your oven gloves on, and then you open it and look inside. There's a brief second where nothing happens before a pound cake of rough density and size is equal to probably you. Is suddenly released from its prison as it slams into you.
My hamster is getting antsy.
Dealing
If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
5 bludgeoning and 6 fire damage directly to your nose as it slams into it, and very rapidly expanding.
Nice.
Bilva
Okay,
influence.
As it slams into my face, I get rocketed back and slide across the ground on my back, all the way to where the group is hiding behind the caravan.
Carriage.
What's the word? Carriage. Thank you. And when I finally stop sliding, sorry, I made the motion with my hand and let go of the button. I lifted up with both hands, having held onto it the whole time, and said, "It's a pound cake."
What's your
What
strength?
do you like?
Not enough.
Your elbows kind of wiggle and you go, whoa.
Yeah,
As
it's
you try
a
to
3.
balance it on top of you
It's a 3.
before your legs just give out as you get crushed beneath the pound
No,
cake.
my arms. I'm still laying on my back, holding it up, and then my arms just give out.
You're now stuck under a pound cake that weighs roughly 50 pounds. This is much more than a pound cake.
I'm making no sounds while everyone's looking.
I'm gonna go over and help him up.
You are astounded by the density of this pound cake.
Oh dear Fury, this thing is heavy.
I've squished into a blob and then quickly reform.
All right, you
Not
can do
using,
that.
not using the ability, just
You're very
naturally.
slightly squishy.
Yes, exactly. Not a blob, but like, you know what I mean.
So, is anyone not watching this event happening?
Zerk was not behind the cart, so he's
Sinnoh's
watching.
still just within eyesight of it all, with his bow drawn. Kind of like, I don't know if I want to go over there.
Sorry, go ahead, Ray.
Anun gave him the dragon shards, and then he stopped caring. He's not paying attention at all.
About 80 feet, actually probably about 100 feet off the road in the opposite direction to the kind of sparse forest that you went into, Sinnel. On the rolling plains is a fairly sort of a short hill that at first you thought was just a hill, but it appears to actually be a rabbit warren. As a handful of fairly spry-looking rabbit people kind of stretch and make their way up on top of the warren. You can see that there's actually a makeshift table and chair set up there that they kind of bring up with them as they set it down and start enjoying their morning as well. Just kind of watching very intently. Every so often, another one will kind of come up and start watching, and before long, you've been focused a little bit too much on this cooking. And as you finally sort of look around, you see that there's about 20 of them just kind of staring and drinking their morning tea.
Wait, the rabbits are drinking morning tea?
Yeah.
He did call them rabbit people.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah.
I thought they were just rabbits.
No. It's a full-on small little rabbit warren village. Things have been a little bit more exciting on your end, so your attention's kind of been stuck on your own affairs for the moment.
My giant turkey and also preparing the.
Yeah, and almost dying after getting crushed by a pound cake.
Details.
I'm
focusing on the important things.
You reckon the seismic activity imparted by your baking probably woke them up.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah, seismic baking. But your breakfast is legendary. As would you actually cook the turkey, or would you wait until the night?
I was hoping the cake wouldn't be done till after the turkey. I guess I'm too good at baking. So, I turn to my party and say, "Who? How do you guys feel about having breakfast first and dinner late, or
dessert?"
You see, dessert first, dessert for breakfast and dinner for lunch.
That's
Also, Yark, could you stop snapping your fingers into the microphone?
Did I actually do that?
Yes.
That's so funny. I didn't even notice.
And he's gonna take a swig of vodka at the mention of dessert for breakfast because he just wants food.
Yeah, just
That's
food
fine.
sounds good.
All right, cool. I've had. Shoot, where's my mood? Okay. One of my water skins I filled up with milk not too long ago, luckily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do whatever you do to turn it into cream. I think you cook it, you boil it or something.
Yeah, you would, as a character, you would know, and
yes,
it's fresh enough that you can use it for that.
Yes, I'll do that. Stir it a whole lot, add some sugar for my spice pouch, and make whipped cream for the pound cake.
All right. You'd be able to, as you make up a fairly heaping portion for your size of whipped cream.
Awesome. And I serve the cake, and I cut off a big slice for the our rabbit friend viewers.
All right.
Because there's a lot of it.
they kind of chitter amongst themselves in their own lupine language. But a handful of them kind of take you up on their offer. They're fairly light eaters, so.
You mean lapine, right? Lupine would be wolves.
Oh, so the rabbit people aren't food.
Lapine?
They're rabbit werewolves.
Yeah, I mean, you guys ate like 2 rabbits the day before, by the way.
Rabbit
Those were
just-
very much regular rabbit sized.
That just means there's 20 more. There's 20 more dinners sitting in front of it.
20 more big dinners.
Yeah,
I think it is lapine, yeah.
yeah. It is lapine, but you said you would
I said
when you
lupine,
pronounce
yeah.
it, you said they're
Yeah,
were
okay.
rabbits.
I was close enough.
Zerf's looking at
I got the
shops.
L in the pine.
So
As you
many
resist
pines.
the urge to eat the rabbit people.
Yes.
That's what Anoon's doing.
Yep.
Oh shit! Fox instincts. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Zerth are just looking at each other. They're probably like keeping their distance.
Sinnoh's
We're doing
considering it
mental math
too.
right now.
Yeah.
Zerth, you hear Yark calling for a little help as he's got the large knife halfway stuck in the pound cake and cannot move it.
Anoon's not
I'll-
looking, but he. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Anoon's not looking, but I hear him talking about how the knife is stuck, and he's just in the back of his mind hoping it's in one of those rabbit people.
Zerf gives you a dead look of a knowing look of he's thinking,
I'll help him.
Greg.
I'll go over and help Yark, I guess.
This is the safety of the new community of these two being away.
How do we just show up in this village of tasty people?
I think I just cut through what. I think I just cut through the cake and whatever it was set aside.
Yeah, you were. If you pull the knife out, you can get it, but you go right through like the wooden plate they had it on. It's like that scene in the Incredibles where he like saws through the plate into the table.
I love it.
It's like that.
Anoon's gonna pull out a piece of like unleavened bread or some flatbread and just start nibbling on it.
I'm gonna hand the knife back to Yark and walk away.
Yark turns his head toward Inoon and says, "Hey, you'll spoil your breakfast. Now come get some."
You spoil your bread with more bread.
Well, I mean, the cake successfully cut in half. I'm just gonna give the knife back to.
All right.
And
As if Inun would were to go and grab a slice, you'd see that a lot of the smaller rabbits would kind of shy away, but the sort of the larger, more dominant ones would kind of stay near the table.
Anoon will be around, but he doesn't want any cake.
All right. As far as you're aware, it seems that they don't understand common, but they can kind of get along with the idea of sharing food and stuff like that.
Sinnoh will
But they seem to enjoy
happily
it.
eat some.
All right.
Yark's feelings are clearly hurt by Inoon rejecting the cake.
It's a very mealy, a very dense cake, filled with a lot of butter and sugar, but it's very good.
Very
He's
moist.
Looking at the table in front of him, because if he's not, he's going to be looking at rabbits and licking his lips.
Oh, Zerf is eating the cake but dead looking at these rabbits.
Anoon's
Hey,
about
please.
to start chewing on the table.
Please tell me, Dova, that there's a rabbit called
Called what?
Woundwort.
Don't teach
I'm not
my
picking up on this. I'm
youngsters
sorry.
to suck eggs.
Keep
You-
cutting that.
Oh, Woundwort, as in General Woundwort. I assume you've seen Watership Down in your lifetime.
So how about them sports? March Madness, more like March Sadness. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dova, how's your favorite sports ball team doing?
They're doing good, scoring a lot of goals.
Nice.
They're keeping those points high.
I like how a friend told me that they were watching an Easter movie and it was like they were watching The Incredibles or something, and I'm like, What the? I'm like, what the frick? Why aren't you watching Watership Down? Watership Down's the perfect Easter movie you should be watching.
Who's that?
I grew up on this. Anyone who disagrees is wrong.
Anu's gonna pick up the sending stone. Just go. How's it going?
Dude just starts taking psychic damage.
Is Chinese.
Voice comes back a few moments later. Pretty well. Having a good day.
I was expecting
Oh,
a new
good.
phone. New stone. Who this?
Hey, dude, why are you talking to yourself?
Oh, I'm not. I'm on a call.
Oh,
Are you holding it up to your head like just saying, "I'm on a call.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey, quiet.
busy. Hey,
I'm talking. Stop.
I'm on the phone."
ask them if they know where we
I'm
can
on the
change
zone!
the
Meatloaf.
Saf, go ahead.
I was saying, ask them if they know where we can change those bits of paper.
Yeah, do you know if there's a bank nearby? We're over in a village of rabbit people.
I don't think there's going to be a bank there, but as far as I'm
aware of
aware,
that.
you're near Hathril, and there's a few banks there, including
Banks in
one.
Hathrow?
Yeah, one kind of owned by
by
people out of the Moor Holds. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know-
well,
Oh, hey!
thank you very much.
What is
Hey,
that?
you just got a new bit of information. You
Oh,
know he's
give me
tracking
a
you now.
moment.
Influence.
Is this another
As
bank
the-
I'm gonna destroy? I
As
probably
the
shouldn't
as the
ask-
jukebox flickers to life. You removed the stone a little while ago, but it flickers to life and plays some of the most gaudy, flamboyant, very. It's a strange genre, but you can hear a quintet of not really soprano men singing. It's more just below soprano. What's that? I think that's alto. But it's
Charles,
K-pop.
write in chat, what is that?
I
Alright,
reached.
I'm gonna,
I'm reaching for my hammer.
It was K-pop.
I'm gonna walk into the machine and start kind of banging on it. I'm going, oh, this thing's broken, and it just goes, oh, fuck, Gangnam Style. I'm gonna keep hitting it.
You
I'm
hit it to the beat.
Rosalind is hovering nearby, reaching for her hammer, unless someone stops her.
Nope.
I imagine.
Distracted.
Of course, I imagine
Mule.
like actual hovering, like levitating above the ground, reaching. for the hand.
She's just T-posing above Ray.
There's that
indeed.
same kind of like wave effect, like in Dragon Ball Z.
I'm just messing with dials and trying to, as far as I know, with the volume and pitch and whatever else is here. And I'm just trying to stop this thing.
It gets about halfway through the song before it finally starts to fade away.
That sound was an offense to my ears.
I'm gonna check the crystal trap.
I don't know.
The
I liked
receptacle.
it.
It is empty. It's been empty this whole time. You hear a very faint laughter from the sending stone.
I just realized probably shouldn't have asked the person on the sending stone where the next bank is. That just seems like a bad idea. Anu's just gonna face palm and just drag it down his face, his hand, and just kind of stretch it.
The whole maw
Because-
stretches, even though it's bone.
because he just wants to shatter this thing, but this is the only machine he has. So he's just oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put in a different crystal.
All right, which one?
Let me check the track list. Let's put in 3. A grandiose march of an unknown kingdom.
All right.
As we
This
liberate
is
this
Earth.
rabbit village of their food.
Yes.
As the As everyone starts kind of packing up after the meal is about when you put the track in, and as it starts to fade in, the carriage starts to rumble away. But maybe a minute into the song, Zerth, you know this song. You know it intimately. This is one of the songs that you did parades to.
I got the perfect song for this. One moment.
Ah.
I'm scared.
Yeah, me
I am
too.
too. I'm waiting.
Yeah, he has 3 minutes to cue this up. Oh, I know what is that?
That's from it's Red Orchestra.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Soviet March.
I had that game and played like 2 hours of it.
I look to Inun and goes, "Where did you get that song?"
It was part of this record collection. 8 of these crystals, and that's one of them.
Unlabeled.
He finds himself just. Have you ever just looked at somebody and like you know that they've just kind of completely zoned out just by how their eyes look? That's what his eye.
That 1,000-mile stare.
That
1,000-yard
1,000
stare.
Yeah, as he's having flashbacks.
I mean, with his eye, it probably is 1,000-mile stare.
Yeah.
Actually,
It just
yeah.
zooms out all the way, and you're like, "Zerth, are you here?"
Now
No
Zerth has to
response.
start talking in a Russian accent.
Who does?
Zerth.
Oh my god. Give me a
Discuss with
minute.
it.
Like to hear my bad Russian accent?
I
It's
played
bad.
It
Stalker.
sounds
I'm
like
good at it.
a.
It's
I don't
bad
want to seem
normally.
racist with this, but that sounded like a Mexican-Russian mix.
That's odd.
That's just what it sounded like to me.
Hey, that's not what I was going for. I can't say what your bigoted mind's going to.
I don't know if I
Jeez.
can
Come
do a Russian accent with his voice. Alright, I'll get back to that in a second.
Just watch the machine gun stand up. That'll give you some Russian bits. I forget the guy's name.
I don't know what this is that you speak of.
Alright, well, Anuin's just gonna look at Zerth, happy that they're getting out of this village. You said the cart's moving, right?
Yeah.
As he's listening to the song intently.
Well, it's a good marching song, I suppose.
You could say that. Sometimes these sounds are not of victory, but hide the unforeseen defeats.
Well, marching songs are generally not played for victory. They're generally played for parades or for march.
Something like that. As he just kind of stares at the back of the cart.
as the music continues, Aryabor in the driver's seat mentions, we should be reaching Hathril by nightfall tonight. I'll be heading back to Sharn, but you're free to do whatever you like. In fact, you don't really need to be with me anymore, if you don't want to.
I got nowhere better to go.
All right. If it does mean anything, it has been interesting being with such a lively group.
Hey, Dova, wasn't this a like a paid thing?
No.
Our payment was whatever we found in.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to negotiate a better contract.
Well, I mean, there's always next time.
We had a contract.
I mean, we got a lot of money and I'm slimy now, so I'd say that's a win.
I got 0 money out of all of that.
As far as coins go, it was. You also have some banknotes that are worth about 10,000.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, I totally forgot about all those.
We got money. Like, we made off pretty well, everything considering.
As soon as a new gets money, he spends it on someone else. He needs to stop doing that.
Yeah. You need to be more selfish.
Now you understand my pain in real life.
From the perspective of Zerth, the day goes by almost in the blink of an eye. He just kind of stares off, lost in the past. He's only kind of jolted out of that as someone kind of bumps him from behind. The driver kind of bops him on the shoulder as they're heading into the town. It's currently nighttime, and the sudden jarring transition kind of reinforces the fact that you're very, very thirsty and hungry after basically almost meditating for the entire day.
Tired.
Mm-hmm. You are, yeah, I forgot you are exhausted because you didn't sleep.
Yeah.
But you guys are now entering Hathril. From the outside, the city is a very wide city. It doesn't have the population or the pure size of Sharn, but it does have a fairly sizable, solid populace. You can see one of the lightning rails pulling up to the station from the outside. The sparks of lightning lighting it up fairly well, and into the dark night sky, a large sort of innumerable plumes of smoke from the various fires throughout the city sort of filter up and kind of snake and curl their way past 2 of the 12 night moons. The ring of Sybaris, actually contrasting against those little smoke trails as well. The large glimmering golden ring encircling the planet, lighting up the night sky. So, it's our normal end time. I feel as though this is probably a good place to end off. We'll probably end up doing a bit of downtime, unless you guys want to get right into something else. But as far as like traditional like mission log stuff goes, I don't believe you have anything on your current to-do list.
We cleared the quest book.
Clear the docket. Do we want to transfer all the banknotes now, just so we have something to work with for downtime?
Yes, that's probably a good idea. So, who is going to go get those cashed in?
Oh, Nude will.
Okay.
I will.
Banks.
I will go with him as a protective witness. We'll go
Gotcha.
Sinnoh's
I'll
gonna
be-
stick around.
I'm riding Search.
Let's just all go.
Yeah.
All right,
Rosalind
fair enough.
Yeah, none of us
We
really
can all
have
watch it
much
this
of.
year.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to need one persuasion check and one intelligence check.
I can do the intelligence check.
Gotcha. Because we will need someone to actually
I
first make sense of who all these banknotes are for, and second, actually manage to get the full price out of them since they're so old.
I can
But
do
it-
some persuasion.
Yeah, the cleric can do that.
I'm
Wait,
not proficient in it.
No, you want
I mean, if-
charisma.
If
charismatic?
anything, with them being so big, or for them being so old, they should have interest.
See, that's the
I don't know
points
if
that someone
that's-
with really high intelligence or a charisma would make.
Out of
Well-
20.
Like that. All
I'm
right,
very
you
glad
know
you-
exactly how much these are worth, and exactly how much you can possibly get out of them. Now you got to make the case to the investors.
Oh, great. No pressure, guys.
Don't screw up your roll.
Drink your tea. Drink
got
your
my-
tea.
Get
You're
the,
plus
get the
two.
tea, get the plus two.
Yeah, I drink
Get
the
the
tea,
tea, get the tea.
and
Wait,
I'll
can
drink
you
the tea
cast-
in real life.
Can you cast self-guidance or something?
Can somebody else
I mean,
cast guidance on
Amir
him?
just gave Zer some more tea, so perhaps a +4 from both of them.
You dig deep.
I did my thing.
You remember, you are exhausted, so this would be a disadvantage.
Ah, fuck.
Ah, shoot.
Is he the best persuasion we've got?
I got a +5.
I got a +4, but no
I also got a
disadvantage.
disadvantage. I also have +4. No.
Yes, caffeine. That'll wake him up, right?
I'll accept you getting rid of that by like hyping yourself up with like various stimulants and like coffee.
Okay, no, Dova. Here's what's gonna happen.
But
Anil's
you
gonna tell
will
him
be
everything-
exhausted for the next 2 days by everything just sort of stacking up.
Okay.
Yeah, Anil will give him all the information he needs about these things.
He'll brief him on everything. He'll give him a portfolio. He'll like quiz him outside the room. All right, so what's
I-
aggregated
Dude's making
interest?
charts.
He makes the charts, but Zerth has to
A
present. them.
PowerPoint presentation.
Anyways.
Oh my god, Dova.
Yeah.
Rosalind and me make him a suit. I want to see a gator in a suit. Do you know how
Alright.
amazing it would be to see a giant Zerth in a fancy suit?
Do either of you know? Do either of you have like tailor's tools?
No, but I threw Rosalind in there because, you know, I'd need help.
Fair enough.
I think that
Better yet.
Sinnoh actually
Go for
does.
squirrel.
Sinnoh does actually have Taylor's tools, like not official
All right, you
ones,
guys-
but like survival kind of stuff.
All right,
should
so
be good
everybody
enough.
basically like pitches in. I'd say you'd be able to get rid of that exhaustion because you can't do it on the first day because you need to make the suit. The second day, stroll into the bank. I'd say you manage to make a half decent suit or source one for.
Probably
I'd say the
sourcing.
materials help and tools overall would cost probably 30 gold, 30 Galifars to.
I will pay that.
All right, Zerth, you are now in a presentable sort of administrative outfit.
Gator tux.
And let's not forget the
basically.
new needed time to make his charts and PowerPoint presentation and stuff.
True.
Okay. So,
So-
I've been holding this dice this entire time.
Zerth, you roll in with your +4 from the tea. No
Yes.
disadvantage since you slept decently well last night.
Mhm.
You put the poster board on the little easel, and bring out your. You put the portfolio of various bonds out in front of you. I'd say with all this prep work, with advantage. Go ahead
Guys-
and give me a persuasion roll.
All right.
Guys,
I-
what is it?
I'm gonna roll. I'll just roll 2 separate dice because I got the one dice I've been holding this whole time. I'm
Ooh,
literally.
They're rolling hot.
Yeah, I am literally standing up right now.
Guys, what is this game?
Zero sweat during the fight, but now?
This is where it gets serious.
Yeah, hold up. I'm gonna.
Did that second one go through?
The second one did not go through. I've got the first one that says 12 total.
Here
Okay.
we go. I sent a picture to help with your dice rolls.
Was it the stonks?
No, it's the gator.
Yes!
Yes!
And a +4 on that too.
I'm dancing. My dog's
Alright.
judging
Not
me.
yet. Not yet. Not yet.
So,
I'm gonna move that up to media sharing.
without
the picture
any
you
memory
post.
of what you
I'll put it
actually
on
said,
screen.
without any memory of what you actually said, you were walking out with a single banknote in hand. You don't have your poster board. You have your suit, but everything just kind of happens so fast. And you're walking out. Your friends are in the lobby, and they see you, and you kind of rush over and you look at the single banknote in your hand. It's a modern one from this bank that says 13,000 Galifars.
Huh?
I think I killed it.
It needs to give a thumbs up.
Is that what these kids say these days? Killed it? Is that right? He's looking for affirmation.
Funny, I forgot we
Downright
could've-
dabbed on them bankers.
We could have
Yeah.
used message and just give him an earpiece. Kept telling him everything to say, but this also works.
All right. With a good amount of
Yes.
capital, I'd
Oh,
say we
let's
could probably
split
end the
that.
night.
All right,
What is it?
I have a question.
You want to split the? Sorry.
Zerth,
Yes.
do you what do you do to celebrate your victory? Do you like flex at all? Or is he a
Zerth
flexer to celebrate?
This celebration is Zerth
He's
doing
apparently a
secret sneak off to that
dancer.
rabbit village.
Yeah. We're gonna go get some fast food.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. We will be back next week with more. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those things there on the website, as well as down in the description below. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of you guys I'm able to continue bringing all these streams to you guys. I will be back tomorrow. Not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing just yet. Well, actually, it's probably on my schedule. Oh yes, community game night. That's right, that's what I was going to do. Tower Unite or Tabletop Simulator. So be there and let's have some fun, everyone. Everybody's invited. We'll see what people have when we gather together. So do be by, and yeah, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
So can I just say how great D&D is that we can go from fighting a smothering rug to cooking a New Year's meal to talking to investors over ancient bacon, all in the same session.
Wrapped up the gator to talk to the investors over ancient
Gator in a
bacon.
tuxedo, talking to investors over ancient banknotes.
Now we need Gator in a maid outfit.
Truly, this is magical.